revenge. He mentioned they need to be firing on all cylinders to beat Team Spirit. Well, their cylinders often struggle against Team Spirit. Bit drops from a 1.14 rating to a 0.84. Wonderful from 1.11 to 0.95. Some of the strongest players struggle to find production against Spirit, and that must be different today if they want to book a spot in the Spodek right now.
Two smokes in the mid early for NAVI. Flash goes around short. Alexi B leading this charge, and the defense designed to deal with the threat at the B bomb site is Magix and Zontix. Zontix to take the first fights at short. Magix at range doing some work, but it's a 2-for-2 as NAVI leap into the B bomb site.
Yeah, that's a really nice take. Good 2-for-2 exchange. Bit's got to jump back off, so time being chewed off the clock to buy Spirit the opportunity to get close by for this retake, to settle themselves and prepare. One coming up catwalk, it's Shiro. Chopper and Donka to initiate from market.
Chopper coming through. Imma's just holding that initial fight. The in-game leader will take a step forward, but Imma to dispatch them and decapitate the second. Donk is dead, and now it's Shiro left at 1v3. He'll gunsling his way forward, but with 3 NAVI players deep inside of this B-bomb site, there is no way into this for Shiro. And for NAVI, bringing it back to that point of the heads-to-heads as well. Never was it in a huge tournament, right? It was ESL Pro League in the studio environment. That was the only time they were able to defeat them. And JL recalls that time, as you mentioned, needing everybody to step up. They've lost in finals to Spirit. They lost last week
in the semi-final, yeah.
This is just a very difficult team for NAVI to match up against, and so far, so good in the pistol at least.
Well, especially getting Imma started with 4 kills in that pistol too. You're going to want him to have a good feel for the game and get rolling quickly. Alexi's calling a fast second round, already up the ramp. Ooh, mistimed flashbangs. Defense gets blinded. Alexi's going to turn that corner. Chopper slows it down, and one more might be there. JL's run a route into the bomb site.
Chopper finally dealt with through that smoke. NAVI populate the A bomb site. Bit through the smoke again, the follow-up on towards Zontix. Seems comfortable enough now for NAVI as that bomb plant starts to come in, and Team Spirit are locked out of it. Donk with the deagle is the only way in. And it's a great shot from the D, tried to get back to the second, but the headshot machine himself, Bit, just charging around that corner, preventing any further impact from Donk in this round. Magic's doing what he can with the SMG, but for NAVI, it's 2 in a row.
This is going to be a very tough affair for NAVI, obviously. Spirit, what we saw yesterday in their matchup against Astralis. Astralis coming in with a great game plan to attack into Donk's positions and really restrict his options and make him take the fights that they want him to take versus letting him roam around the map. But the problem with that is, at the moment, Spirit is a complete team. Magic's popping off, Zontix popping off, Chopper having incredible games. His step up, his performance in Copenhagen at Blast, now here so far in the early goings of Katowice, has been excellent. So you can shut Donk down, but there's other players for Spirit providing.
Yeah, Chopper's definitely been getting a lot of praise, not only from the community, but from his teammates.
Oh yeah.
Magix has been enjoying the fact that Chopper's had a step up in performance. And when you're in-game leaders feeling confident individually, the calls as well going perfectly. I mean, it's all lining up for Team Spirit at the moment. They're looking for the repeat back-to-back in Kato. The only team able to have done that a long time ago is Fnatic. But not in the modern era. Shouldn't be too much resistance in a round like this.
That's the kind of thing that you say, and then there's a lot of resistance.
That's true. That's true.
As Donk turns a corner with the deagle, Scout hits a headshot. Bit should be able to find Chopper. Timing is everything, though. Chopper turns around. Oh, Bit's going to go down. Ooh, Chopper can't complete the kill. Who knows if that would have been enough, but it would have been a really good start, and it would have put some pressure on NAVI to recover the situation with no information at the A bomb site. It would have been a wonderful frag to open the round up with.
Still over a minute left for NAVI to stay in control. And, you know, looking back at both these teams' opening games here in Stage 2 of Katowice, they played Furia, that was NAVI, to defeat them very comfortably at 13-5 and into a 13-3 win. And for Team Spirit, a very similar result versus Astralis yesterday. So neither of these squads being tested yet, but immediately running into each other.
Well, this will be interesting because they're actually lining up for a hit with 40 seconds left. Alexi's not going to have time to investigate with the MAC-10.
That's a big shot.
Yep, that is a big boy shot. All these are quite nice shots. Jumping around the corners. Zontix falls. Alexi's going to go recover the rifle. It's 3-0 for NAVI in the early going. A nice start on T-side Mirage, but guns come out now for Team Spirit. And Shiro's got the AWP.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, JL's rocking the mask right now, seeing that. Maybe there's a little illness on him, and that you don't want that in a game like this. You
don't want it
JL's
spreading amongst the teammates either.
Yeah, true. But you don't want JL feeling under the weather in a game like this. We'll see if it affects him down the line, but for Team Spirit, all out for Shiro.
Something tells me JL's coming into this one fully focused. That little comment about wanting revenge, about being a little sore from the 6 losses they've taken in 7 matchups against Team Spirit. Even if he is sick, I think he's going to be able to completely ignore it with full focus on qualifying to the playoffs over their nemesis.
Window smoke fails. But Shiro hasn't been able to punish them for it just yet. Hasn't been given that chance until that peak as Wonderful goes into the open. In particular, Wonderful struggled in the game last week, not really able to match that output that Shiro was able to deliver.
Well, Shiro had a pretty god tier output
yeah, that's true.
in that tournament, so
here goes Emma up on top, under the boost on the bench. Zoltek's ready for that, and so Spirit extend into a 2-man advantage. Navi disjointed, and this really feels like their only play they've got is Bit coming through ramp, climbing up Tetris, looking to build around here for Navi, but Chopper gets a good timing, but Bit looks back instead. So a headshot reopens the conversation for Navi to flip this round back in their favor, but Shiro to stop JL from taking any steps further, and they know that Bit is already deep in the site, so Donk will address that, and we are seeing Team Spirit take their first round here in Mirage.
Yeah, Donk able to hold on. Bit's not turning the corner with that flashbang whatsoever, so buys time for Donk to find the fight he wants. Good swing, good headshot from Alexi, but traded off, and 3 players survive, including the AWP on Shiro for Team Spirit's initial defensive hold.
It's Wonderful just walking out dry into the fight. Not a difficult shot for Shiro.
He'll take those fights all day.
Oh,
swing
yeah,
swing into his vision, unsmoked, unflashed. Tough affair for Navi down the stretch in round 4. They got AKs again.
Alexi looking to combine with his 2 teammates coming out from underpass. B control taken. 2 players pretty proactive for the Spirit defense at short. Zoltix is up in the ladder room. Magic's just around the corner a little bit further towards that B-bomb site, but Navi have space in mid.
Spirit make a little bit of guess on where to position those nades in this round, and it's absolutely perfect. Look at the way they've chunked down Alexi to 63, Ema to 45. This is phenomenal utility damage to open round 5. Everyone just a little bit softer, but Bit's going to give an advantage to Navi. Swing on A ramp and Chopper goes down. Donk and Shiro still there in defense.
Bit could really become a nuisance over towards A ramp in this game. He looks sharp to start, 7-1.
This is really hard for Team Spirit. Complete mid-control for Navi. They've gotten a kill on the A bomb site, and now they get to work the map for about a minute. You can see the bomb lining up in B halls, Alexi working his way up catwalk. As long as they don't mistake the details of the smoke timings and get picked off, they might just have a free round. Spirit's entirely gambled with 4 players on the A side of the map.
That Molotov goes under the wood. Shiro knows where it's been thrown from and attempts to take Bit down. Zontix, easy kills in the back here. Emma's pinned inside of ladder room. The bomb making its way into an empty B bomb site, but here comes the rotation back from Magix. Bit out Jules Donk inside of the A bomb site. Magix unable to do enough to keep Spirit in this round.
Zontix almost pulls that round back. If Ema ends up going down to him in ladder room as well, that would have been a massive problem for Navi, but you combine the Bit kill over towards A ramp with the frag on a Magix as he exits kitchen and market, then got a 4th round for Navi. So you want to talk about firing on all cylinders. I mentioned kind of the drop-off of some of the individuals from Navi when they play Spirit. Ema's had a good start, had the quad kill on the pistol. He's 5-3 right now. Bit, another player who struggles, whose rating drops off quite a bit when faces up against Spirit. He's 8-2. He's had some really good rounds. We can see him right now. Game plan for Bit seems to be that kind of lurker at the A bomb site, but be proactive about it. Apply some pressure. Look for that 1v1 fight against Chopper a number of times. He's found it twice now. And tactically, Alexi B calling some very nice mid-rounds in the early going of Mirage.
Yeah, Bit still had a great game, even in that loss last week against Team Spirit. He was the top performer by some margin for NAVI. And most notably, we have Holly back behind Spirit, who was not there in their last matchup. He didn't go to Blast. They're still able to win the tournament, but we heard a lot from the players talking about how important Holly is in terms of keeping clear communication. But it was a new test for Chopper, who had to go deep into Ancient, into the double overtime. We heard Zontex after that game actually saying that they used their entire playbook, and they needed everybody to step up and deliver ideas for Chopper, and they were still able to figure out a way to beat NAVI.
Yeah, Magix himself basically said after that finals win at Blast that, you know, especially after the win over NAVI, if they had Holly behind him, they wouldn't have had Ancient get so close. They wouldn't have had to descend into 3 overtimes to beat NAVI on the map. So a lot of credit being given over to the Spirit coach by his players. Got to be a good thing to hear as the coach, as Holly. Round 6. Top mid Molotov from Zontix. Window's going to be smoked off. Utility spent to start encroaching into mid control on this default for NAVI. Ema and JL in the underpass. Alexia top mid. Bomb leaning towards the A bomb site with Wonderful.
Oh, Alexia getting spammed down through that smoke by Zontix, so Team Spirit have an advantage to play with. And Ema climbing into the window. Oh, Zontix, he's close by. Ema walks right by him, and that smoke fades away. So Ema strikes to his head and now moves forward. Donk has to address that problem. Goes back and does so effectively. 4v3, Team Spirit still have the player count advantage.
Yeah, it's a bummer though. NAVI doesn't get to play with that 4-on-4 whatsoever. They lose that right out of the gate as Ema tries to pick up the pace. Donk close by. So Bit's going to start leading the way towards the B bomb site. Nobody's home on defense. Big fight from Wonderful and a huge win. Chopper's not going to be able to back off towards Catwalk. It's only Magix. Donk and Shiro very, very far away, so Magix is going to have to deliver.
Was out of position in the previous round when NAVI attacked into the B bomb site. This time in a much better spot to find the impact required. His teammates are just so far away, so if Magix does not do enough here, it is likely to be over. Bit and JL coming out silently, creeping in behind Magix. He has no idea, but now the step's being made. Magix not reacting, not turning just yet, but eventually goes for that peek, but he's peeked from window. And Wonderful will stop Magix from getting a single kill, but here comes Donk. He won't make the difference this time, and Shiro has to save the AWP.
It's beautiful scaling from NAVI. You know, 2 players way far ahead of the play, JL and Bit. Able to get in the bomb site, get it planted. Wonderful is trailing, watching the flank, but was always going to maintain his position up in halls, and he's able to peek out once Magic's position is revealed. Meanwhile, Bit has scaled all the way towards the market door. Another perfectly played mid-round from NAVI. Tactically looking sharp, individually looking sharp, Bit especially. Living up to his reputation as someone who will just tear off your head with first bullet. 9-2 for Bit so far on Mirage. And it's now a 5-1 lead.
And you know if you're NAVI, that eventually Team Spirit are going to start picking some rounds up on this defense, but you're going to ride this wave of the initial game plan working out perfectly.
I think the next thing you expect if you're NAVI is some kind of mid-control coming out. When you feel like they're going to have another strong buy. If you're NAVI, you've been able to take mid-control, not for free, not necessarily like super easily, but you know, you've been able to take it and maintain it, and I think at some point Spirit's going to want to deny that access. So if you're NAVI, your head's up in that side of the map, and Shiro's brought over, not to be aggressive, but just to try and find a pick.
Well, he's certainly searching for it down into the underpass. Oh, he's just spotted him. A great reaction from Shiro to get in and out with that kill. He'll fall back to safety, and when you have such limited weapons around the board, this is the AWP. This is the key to getting into this round.
What a luxury. And maybe sometimes one of the few criticisms you can kind of levy towards Shiro is the feeling that sometimes he doesn't step up to provide impact, and at least in this round, he goes the other direction. Does exactly what Spirit needs. In a round where they have weaker weapons and very light on utility, he's given a man advantage. And a blind call back towards the A bomb site. Utility spent towards middle.
Ooh.
Nothing's home, and Spirit have the read.
Yeah, they weren't home, and now they're arriving back just in time. Bit trying to fight out of Palace. Looking to pepper him down. The distraction. Chopper comes through with a 5-7. It's just a single kill from him. Wonderful pushing up past Sandwich. Magic's just around that corner, low HP. Donk gets transferred by Wonderful. 2v2 though, still on. Still in this fight, thanks to Shiro's sniper. And he's still trying to do some damage. Another dink. That's the 5-7 kill. It's all on Alexi. He's got to flip this back, but he misses, and the 5-7 nips in behind him. Great work from Zontix and Shiro to combine together to pick up an unlikely round win.
All right, got to stay composed now if you're Navi. That's one of those losses that's really painful when everything feels like it's clicking. The T-side's going really well. A series of really good mid-rounds. Individuals playing strong, and then a slight hiccup here against, admittedly, a tough bye. But those 5-7s doing work down the stretch. And Navi's going to feel like they let a round go that they absolutely shouldn't have. Wonderful brings them right back into this round with this transfer over. But Zontix 5-7 does work. Just enough players whittled off by Shiro's op. And now Ima's going to pick up the pace.
Oh, it's real fast from Ima to get up short. He's got his teammates in the apartment, so LexiV just lagging in behind slightly. And after that initial spam through the smoke...
Oh, they're coming.
He is now pushing forward, and Magic's unable to hold on initially. It's all on Zontix. Oh, great double. Has to go to the 5-7, but here comes Donk. The reinforcements are here, the support network is there, but JL hops up on top of Van. Great kill. Donk elusive inside of the smoke. It's just JL left, and Donk is not going to allow him another step forward, makes the rotation, and collects a triple.
We'll give Donk a lot of credit for that triple kill, but man, you got to give some over to Zontix for providing exactly what Donk needed to arrive in time to make those plays. The double kill that he gets towards Catwalk slows down the attack, takes away half of it, which means Donk shifting over only has Hall's players to worry about. And has the space to get out and swing wide.
And he's finally broken the money for Navi. Sends them down to pistols. They'll leave enough for a buy in the next round, but a 5-4 scoreline is about to ring out. And we mentioned it at the 5-1 mark. The Navi are going to expect Spirit to start winning rounds and figure it out on the CT side. So super effective start coming in with a 5-1 lead for Navi, but they don't want that to completely disappear. They have to find something else on top of this. I'll have to come in the next round, though, when that buy comes back in.
It's going to be tough, too, especially you know, if these Deagles can't produce any kills, the P250 on Alexi can't find you any frags in this round, money's going to start getting strong for Spirit. A clean win here, and they balloon up. They've got a buy behind them. Donk's starting to investigate in middle. Navi taking their time with this round, likely talking things over instead of, in lieu of a timeout, having a round with just pistols they know is unlikely to win, using it to have the conversation on what to move forward and what to do in the next round.
Oh, yeah, Magix. Oh, it is so clean. All 5 in a second from Magix. He loves that. They all just line up and melt away.
That's the dream of your B player.
Yeah, get nice naked Glocks coming at you.
Yeah.
1 magazine, all 5 kills. We seen yesterday in the Astralis game, Magix had a couple of highlight rounds for himself, you know, entering bomb sites. In particular, I remember one on A site Nuke. And he gave a little celebration to himself, you know? Hyped himself up.
He did. Sometimes you have to.
Yeah.
Well, Blade's going to talk things over. First time out used by Navi. Blade on the mic with Alexi. Coming up with a plan, and it's kind of like, you know, the JL comment of like, the only time we beat him, we were firing on all cylinders, and that's kind of required to beat Spirit. Blade said similar things, you know, at blasting the timeouts, and we've had those listen-ins and saying things like, you know, we're kind of taking the angle and the philosophy of we're running the right tactics, we're just not executing them as perfectly as we need to. I feel like Navi comes into this match and is like, we know what we have to do, we know what works and what doesn't work.
We just have to do it perfectly. Or close, as close to that as possible.
It's kind of these matchups are always interesting when they faced off against each other so much because each team has seen each other's playbooks, know intimately what it feels like. So you have to throw a little bit of craziness in at times, and you have to break free of kind of typical Counter-Strike fundamentals.
Yeah, and Team Spirit did that better in their last matchup in particular as they got into those deep overtimes. Chopper was finding more ideas than that of Alexi. After the timeout, Navi returned to a bye. And we'll see if they can return to winning ways in this first half. Both of these squads not making a change to their roster from the previous season.
Yeah, why would you? #1 team of 2024 in Navi for their success across the entirety of the year, defending major champions and current best player in the world.
And you think the effects of that will be most felt this early in the season at the first big tournament of the year. The fact that, you know, your other competitors in Vitality and FaZe are dealing with roster moves and figuring things out. Spirit and NAVI get to come to play with their playbook from last year, refined, everything worked out. They have that edge. And here comes NAVI for the A play.
Yeah, but they can't wait out this smoke that just went up in Palace. So at least for the moment, Bit's going to be locked out. If he wants to be involved, he's got to come through it. And he likely only does that if someone's in the bomb site. Molly's Chopper out of the position, gets the information, one is underneath. Chopper is now blocked in and blinded.
Yeah, Chopper's not going to get much out of that at all. Detects him with the sound cue, deals with him with bullets, and Alexi B with a second through the smoke. Great entries here for NAVI. 14 seconds left. Bomb plant's going to come in real soon here. Wonderful has to think about that now. So put it down on default. He's got Alexi B defending the CT swing. Not a lot of utility left here for Team Spirit to get back in on this retake attempt.
They got money, though, to see if they're going to be given a free kill at any point. You'll save the op. But the M4s are going to give it a chance. Magix has the first, backs off for the reaction. It's Alexi.
Yeah, great round here from Alexi. That's 3 already in the round. He's going back for 4. And the ace not given. JL will take that final frag, but in-game leadership and fragging for Alexi B.
And he's picked up the op for Wonderful. I think it's the first time we'll see Wonderful with the AWP on the T side of Mirage, just for the final pair of rounds. Timeout from Hallie to talk things over. Spirit, plenty of cash to rebuy and even more money in the bank for the last round if they need it. 6-4 in the favor of NAVI.
This is Alexi's entries. Knew where Chopper was, just focused his crosshair there, but the second through the smoke is fantastic to neutralize any effect that Donk could have had on the round. And all the sunshine and rainbows.
It's a nice game so far. It feels very cerebral. It feels very tactical, like mind game, still probing. Things haven't gotten out of control yet. Still kind of poking and prodding and seeing exactly where the weaknesses are and how things are working out. Everyone's sort of just playing their defaults.
JL wants to investigate out of ramp.
This is a huge lean.
Had a chance there, but now they know how close he is. Outside of ramp, Magic's not going to give up his position. He's still worried about that Palace push.
There's so many players here, though.
JL's going to hear the shots coming out from the bottom of stairs, and he just spotted one player CT, so surely he doesn't think Magix is going to be inside of Sandwich. So Magix has the advantage here. Shiro going to chime in alongside Donk and hits a double from the top of the stairs. So Wonderful alone, 1v5. Donk prevents that from happening. And out of the timeout, back to a round win here for Spirit.
Well, we just kind of touched earlier on the comments Magix had and the praise he heaped on his coach, Hallie, for some of the calls and some of the ideas he brings out of a timeout. It's a 4-man stack on defense at the A bomb site. Nobody even went to B. 1-player window for at the A site. They knew it was coming that whole time. And NAVI wander right into the trap.
Yeah, JL flying through the sky. Clay pigeon shooting for Shiro. Last round of this half, and NAVI down to just an AK in the hands of Ima.
You see Magix get the assist in that round, and you're like, what the hell? Here's the change of pace. So Ima, we saw this earlier. He got up catwalk quickly. This time slowed because of the contact over towards Khan. But Zontix is standing tall at the catwalk corner, ready for a fight.
They boost Ima just onto the ledge. Donk is aware of the possibility he'll move through the window, and it would be a death sentence for Ima to move forward too early. He'll wait for his teammates to make contact elsewhere and free him up.
Spirit's really prioritizing the A bomb site these past few rounds. Magic's once again over in the cubby. You have an Op and Shiro watching B halls from Market.
Well, it's a good thing for them that NAVI are also prioritizing the A bomb site. They've got players in the right position. They cast JL aside. Chopper chasing down ramp. That's the bomb. It's gone, and so NAVI's chances of extending into the lead to end this half dwindle to near 0. Donk's going to play from jungle. He's worried about that flank possibility from Ima. And Alexi B making noise, drawing the attention, allowing Ima to get in behind. And Zontic's unable to stop Ima. He can't get through that murder hole, so there's a chance here for NAVI to start unraveling this. But 30 seconds, and bomb's still on ramp.
Yeah, and the bomb's controlled. I mean, Magix is going to be there protecting it. He'll take a fight. By the time you pick up the bomb and deal with Magix, you don't have time to get past Shiro. You don't have time to get past Chopper, who shifted all the way back around through Palace. And there it is. Spirit tie things up 6-6. Two of the best teams in the world going toe-to-toe. Both teams going blow for blow, exchanging 5-1 streaks to end the half, all tied up at 6, keeping each other honest here on Mirage in the opening map of this series. Qualification on the line. Spirit's going to switch over. We're going to see Chopper at the helm, directing Spirit's offense, and trying to take away this Mirage pick of NAVI.
And the pistol call is one that is heavily directed towards A. They'll leave Shiro lurking inside of the middle, but he won't lurk for long. IEM to cleave his head off. Now here comes the play. Bit's going to hear the utility, and now the marching of Spirit players towards his position. Donk is already diving around the bomb site, but IEM clean with it. And a pistol ace from the CT side in their opening map 1 week ago. He's looking for another one here. First 2 kills picked up. Bomb planted. And Chopper going to be taken out by JL through the edge of that smoke. And Magix and Donk now 2v5. Gonna be hard to let this one go, but Donk will find a way to get Spirit firing again. Another chance. Donk with 3, and you cannot stop him. Donk is so unbelievable in these situations, and down to a 1v1 is wonderful. Dances around with him, but Donk is designed for this. He's looking for that final headshot, and Donk is designed for violence.
That's a nasty round. That's unreal. The best player in the world just keeps on going, and that's a near impossible situation. And we've just seen it again happen just at the end of last year. Something about this Mirage A site, 1v5, Donk is going to take everything from you. And really not any kind of massive mistakes. The margin is just so razor thin. We said it had been chill. The game had just been relaxed, tactical, cerebral, and Donk just introduced a little bit of brute force.
And he keeps blowing his teammates' minds. You look down the line and you see Shiro reacting like that. They just can't believe some of the things that their teammate is capable of pulling off. You know you're going to have those rounds if you're Navi. Chopper coming through connector. Navi trying to stabilize after their world has just been rocked. And Bit with a 5-7 removes the head of Zontix. And wonderful around the side of Triple. It's 1 extra kill for the CT side. Bit looking to be a real nuisance. He got that dink out towards connector. Now Alexi B's coming in. And he may have aced in the pistol round. He may have given them a chance to get off to a brilliant start here, but Navi have stabilized, they've planted their feet, and they could answer back with a response.
Complete control of the bomb. The question now becomes, there's over a minute to work with, and this is going to slow down. Magix backs off, Chopper rotated all the way back around through Palace, so giving time for Navi to think about this and just say, all right, where could they possibly go? Alexi checking towards CT spawn, Bits pushed up in Palace. This might be the checkmate play, especially a low health Chopper turning this corner. First bullet's gonna win.
Magix, 20 seconds. Getting ever closer to that bomb now, but just such a tough situation to deal with. 1 player up in Palace, 1 CT. As soon as Magix taps that bomb, he'll be pushed. He looks for the Palace peak. Now he needs the kill on Alexi, who's moved towards Triple. He would have to stick to plant, but instead he's going for shots, and Alexi B comes in to steal it away.
Damn, with the time running down too, almost a chance for Magix there. Good job from Navi, returning the favor, not being deterred by the incredible Donk ace in the pistol.
I just love how he reacts after that ace as well. Like, he's just like, yeah, another one. That's what I do.
I think at this point he's just like, what more do you need me to prove to you? What more do I have to do to show you how good I am? A nice reposition from Alexi and a nice cleanup. At the end of the day, bomb plant doesn't go down. Team Spirit buy back up into this. All Tech 9s across the board, 5 of them. Little conversation from Team Spirit, taking their time in this round. 1 minute and 12 seconds left on the clock. Donk and Shiro working underpass. Magix, Chopper throwing out utility from T-Spawn. Gonna start shifting. It almost feels like I was gonna say Donk Shiro to try and have some kind of a fake towards Khan with the bomb going to the B bomb site. Magix and Chopper have now joined up with the fake, and I think Zontix might actually come through underpass as well. So not yet figured out for Team Spirit, and currently locked out by smokes, and time is going to become an issue. 40 seconds as they make their way up catwalk.
Ooh. Some damage done onto Donk. Magix to be taken away. JL with that new FAMAS, just enjoying the back of the bench. He's got Alexi inside of the site. He had Alexi inside of the site, but instead it's on JL now, who gets overrun. And so a bomb plant being teed up, but Zontix is being pushed from short and through the market and just overwhelmed in the end. So Donk to come back through, damaged goods. Very limited health, 8 HP.
Good composure from Navi as well. I feel like the plan from Spirit was to throw some utility everywhere, make noise, make footsteps of those Tech 9s being loud and mobile, and try and really confuse the defense of where it's supposed to rotate and maybe catch some isolated fights. Never found the one that would really turn the round on its head. So a single round lead for Navi, 8-7. And this is a round that should provide them with some breathing room. Unarmored pistols. Except for Donk.
I think it's really impressive that Navi have been able to just reset after one of those explosive Donk rounds, right?
Well, again, it goes back to the fact these guys have played each other 7 times in the past year. They've probably had a ton of rounds ripped out of their hands by Donk for no good reason. You're very familiar with the emotion.
Yeah, you can mentally deal with that. It's like, yep, that is going to happen. It's about the bounce back. Navi moments away from a 9th round. They're clearing through Palace. Chopper's pretty close, but he's now just leaving. But Bit is right behind him. And Chopper has no idea about this. How far does Bit go?
I'll peek all the way towards T-Spawn on a timing, right? He's happy with this position at the moment, but knows if he pushes and dies, it could turn into an issue. They still don't know what kind of buy is out there in the field from Team Spirit. Donk has picked up Tech 9 and armor. He's invested all of his money, so he'll get dropped an AK-47 next round by a teammate, likely Chopper. Hoping that Tech 9 can just wreak havoc in the B bomb site. Alexi and JL to defend. And all of Spirit's forces are coming to bear on this position.
JL gonna take the first one. Alexi under a lot of pressure at the bench, and these pistols trying to overrun the defenses. JL eventually peppered away. Magics to fry up Alexi B. Now a plant is being set up here for Team Spirit, and they've got a weapon off the ground. Shiro with an M4. And if you're Navi, you can't let this one go. You can't give this on over. It might have come through. It's one pick, but Shiro doing exactly what he's needed to do. And Bit has to do everything to pull it back, and that's no problem for him. Makes it look easy as he flicks back up to the van. Magic's toppled, and Navi do eventually get that 9th round win.
Yeah, but it's painful. And I mean, it's an odd timing for Navi. That probably shouldn't have still gotten that out of control. Execute comes in just when Alexi and JL are switching positions inside the B bomb site, repositioning for a late round hit. JL eats a flash full blown, which gives a little bit more space over to Spirit than they intended. But still, to have Glocks do this much damage, 4 kills and a plant. Navi's already survived a couple hiccups in this game. This is like the 3rd one. The Donk pistol ace is essentially like a 1v4, 2v5, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. You had a low buy win in the first half from Team Spirit over Navi, and now you have tons of damage done in a plant onto Navi. So economy doesn't grow, backs against the wall. Team Spirit have primed themselves to be in a great position, and Navi clinging on for dear life with a 2-round lead.
Magic's on the Mac. They've got the mid control they want for Team Spirit. Navi don't mind playing more passive, allowing the space over to them. There's no real challenge for mid either. No one's really even watching deep into connectors, so there's a lot of space right now for Team Spirit.
Most of these rounds outside of the pistol in the second half have been relatively quiet for a long period. We're not seeing early skirmishes and engagements. Oh, Bit, he spotted the head and it just clicked in a little too late. Chopper rips him off. And now it's Emo who's got to slide over to watch for the window jump up. 5 players for Team Spirit in middle. And they are pulling everyone to this side of the map, although Ema spots the catwalk play, which is massive. And freezes Alexi B and JL. Makes them reconsider the rotation, which is the exact right call to make. 30 seconds.
JL looking to short his teammate going down, which means JL needs more. And there's no problem for JL in getting 2. And that bomb being dropped is a problem for Spirit. 15 seconds. Zontic's fighting on, but he's got to run back and get the bomb, and it's currently being watched. Wonderful has eyes and does not allow that plant to be collected.
Beautiful round from JL, but more than anything, it's maintaining information in mid. IEM spotting that catwalk play with a little bit of spam through the smoke saved everyone. He's not going to get any credit on the stats sheet for it, but JL does not get those kills. They do not drop the bomb. They do not win that round if IEM does not spot that catwalk play when he did.
And they forced this third timeout out of Team Spirit. They used 2 in the first half. This is their only regulation T-side timeout, and Holly looking to get the job done. Yeah, well, they better have those ideas that Magix was talking about, because they're starting to run out of time to get into this. Back 10 on Magix. Khalil's and AK's picked up, so Spirit's coming right back into this next round, but they don't have a whole lot of utility to work with. What does that limit you for, Jason? You know, what do you have to sort of lean towards if you have that lack of util?
I mean, it's going to make that kind of slow-paced round that we've seen recently, and that mid-control that Spirit was liking to get as a group really tough. Like, you can still get it with the smokes that you have to start this round, but you're not going to have a whole lot of options from there. It'll give you the control, but you'll have to figure out something to do from that position without smokes.
Here's the mid-fight for Donk. And sometimes when you're lacking utility, you can send your most deadly weapon out into mid, but NAVI not giving him the challenge. Here's the connector fight over the top of the smoke. Chopper gets the dink off, but IEM's weapon is superior, and so NAVI have the opener.
And now the utility really becomes a problem. Just highlighted it to start the round. You're 4v5 and you have 2 flashbangs left. So you might really have to rely on Donk to be that beast mode player who can crack something open for you. Shiro's going to start creeping and inching towards the B bomb site. Alexi and JL have had a lot of attention on this side of the map. And if you try and go up con with no smokes, you've got a long-range op of Wonderful to contend with.
Donk getting pressured from short. There was no cover. The risk going into connector dry without his teammates watching. And it's Spirit just getting destroyed as NAVI leap out of short to all of the kills. A flat round out of the timeout, and NAVI might be just marching towards a Mirage victory.
Yeah, this T-side hasn't really had a whole lot of production to it. The only round they've won was the 2v5 Donk ace on the pistol round. Other than that, NAVI, there's been some sketchy moments. There's been some really tough scenarios they've had to work themselves out of, but they're finding all the solutions and doing a really good job making sure these fights in the mid-round are taken as a team. 2 players on catwalk battling together. And just 2 rounds away from taking the opening map of the series, their pick of Mirage. And 1 step closer to the Spodek.
They'll leave some money here, Team Spirit, but they're going for upgraded pistols, Deagles, Tech 9s. Donk went for the peek onto the jump up. It's definitely one of his moves. He's pretty good at catching that jumping player. I remember a moment from his own stream where you got to see that excitement for Donk and his love for the game, where he was very excited. Asked his chat to clip the moment when he hits the jumping player. So he's going for that, not able to land this time. Map point teed up for NAVI. Window smoke through. IEM's going to play in behind it. They can just spam and catch anybody who crosses out into top middle. Spirit delay their walkout to prevent themselves from taking damage from that inevitable spam. And a B split being queued up, and JL, he's been pretty solid, hasn't he, Jason, holding this B bomb site?
Yeah, but he's pulled away from catwalk. That's where the hit's coming in.
Well, Lexi B's gone, so it is all on JL, being overwhelmed from multiple sides. Couldn't get back out and deal with the apartment's leap. So instead, it relies upon the remaining forces of NAVI to come back in, and IEM's quick to it, but Donk on that headshot. 2v3, NAVI pinned in market, bit to fight his way out. Zontic stops him from even getting around that corner, and now Wonderful has no chance really to do much about this. They're going to give him an opportunity with that first pick, but he needs two, and he needs them quickly. Goes to the rifle instead, and Shiro hears that switch out and knows it's time to strike, and he comes through with that P250. Spirit with upgraded pistols may have just found a lifeline.
Yeah, there it is though. Again, like maybe like the fourth hiccup now for Na'Vi. Again, another low buy loss. This is not a whole lot of utility, not a whole lot of armor for Na'Vi, just some upgraded pistols, and they find a very nice split to the B bomb site. Alexi goes 1 for 1, JL goes 1 for 1. And Team Spirit have one more crack at it. Now you've got the AWP in Shiro's hands and you've got plenty of money behind them. So Na'Vi, they just realize now when you lose a round like that, you're like, it could have been easy. It could have been much, much easier. But every time we play this team, it's always the hard road we're on. So one more time to buckle up. 2 rounds remaining for Na'Vi to win the map. And Spirit still have a chance to take the map in regulation as well if they can get 5 straight.
JL spoke about the fact that the majority of the games that they play against Spirit end in heartbreaking loss. We could be talking about a heartbreaking map loss here if Na'Vi let this one go.
Oh, and that's like letting the map slip, or the mask slip a little bit, right? If you're already kind of saying, man, every time we lose to these guys, it's
pretty
heartbreaking.
tight right now.
Well, I'm telling you what, you have another heartbreak in map 1 of a series. Map 2 is going to be, you know, a little bit difficult to get ready for. You're just going to say, man, again, we just can't do it. Very passive defense. Leaning towards the A site. Ema and Wonderful paired up at jungle to watch top con. Alexi in the bomb site with Bit. Up on balcony.
Donk and Chopper swiftly taking connector control. Here's the smoke up in jungle. Ima, great kill. Stays alive and behind the smoke, and his teammates now stepping up. Bit at ramp. Extra kill. Donk getting pressured, and they push through that smoke. Ima finding so much success here, forcing Na'Vi up to map point, and Zontic stuck at Tetris with no way to build back into this. They're going to push him, but they are going to overrun him, and Blade lets out a celebration as Na'Vi claim map point.
Cool play from Wonderful and Ema there. Ema obviously gets that first kill, very nice, just as the smoke plumes, but then Wonderful's just spamming. Just a couple bursts into the smoke to make Donk feel like, yeah, he's spamming, I'll take the risk, but Ema's sliding through while that spam is going on. And a beautiful round from Ema. Another one. 16 kills for Ema, him and Bit leading the way. Na'Vi now with 4 opportunities to close out the map.
Ugh, that's beefy for Zontix to have to deal with. Itchy grenade to clear out bottom con smoke. Chopper had 1 step forward. If he was a little closer, it would have been spotted by Ima. Chopper, ooh, quick moves. His teammates molly out the window, and he'll play on the ledge. Ima has been immovable towards jungle.
Haven't seen that individual drop-off today that we've seen from Na'Vi previously against Spirit. JL's getting that exact performance he wanted from all the pieces of Na'Vi. Tactically, Alexi B has called a great game. Wonderful nails the shots that are presented to him. Ema and Bit stepping up as required.
Here comes the bomb out of the ramp. Bit playing inside of Sandwich. Wonderful, they know where he is, so they throw utility on him. They try and force him into the open. Bit tries to step up and defend his teammate. Ima again, unrelenting, double kill. Shiro left alone, and it is Na'Vi that strike first. They are looking to get into the Spodek by taking Spirit down today, and this might be the second time they're capable of defeating Spirit.
Their head-to-head on the map at 3-3. They've played it so many times against each other, played many maps so many times together. If you're Na'Vi, you have to expect Dust2, a map that Spirit's been picking for themselves for quite some time for good reason. So very good on it. Donk himself individually incredible. We saw the devs talk it over. What they say has like a 1.92 rating on this map. Absolutely mental. So we'll see this how this plays out between the two of them. And Na'Vi have at least gotten themselves playing the way they wanted. JL said it, firing on all cylinders, and they had that on map 1.
Look how quick Bit has got all the way towards top middle. Now, we'll keep eyes on that flank, but this long take coming through. The smoke has already gone down to the cross, and Na'Vi have so many players ready for this defense of the A bomb site. This is about to get messy for Team Spirit. So many targets to get through, and JL up on top of his teammate's head, delivers the first blow with a pistol here on Dust2. Bomb is going to go down shortly, you would imagine, but here's JL to try and deny that. Shiro, even while blinded, still able to chime in, but that flank being set up by Bit. He's around the back, nipping at the heels with the Jewel Berettas. 3v2, barely standing is wonderful. On such low health, but Zontics with a double back, leaving it all on Bit, and they know exactly where he is, so that bomb goes down on the reverse side of the boxes, and Bit thrusts himself forward alone. 1v2 for the headshot machine, and he gets a taste of his own medicine.
Man, I feel like Na'Vi might have just sped that up a little bit too fast, a little bit too much. You could see trying to push that CT choke to fight ramp and fight long. I think they're trying to take attention away from that flank wrapping around with the dualies. That's a beautiful shot from Zontics and the cleanup on Wonderful, but man, Navi's going to be looking at this pistol much like the one on Mirage and just be like, we were in control. We got 2 kills before the bomb got planted, everything was good, and then just falls apart.
They were able to respond immediately, though, on Mirage. So I'll hope for that again, Jason. Maybe this little force spiking, get Na'Vi going on Dust2. It was a 6-6 first half on Mirage. We thought we were going to get like that close, cerebral game right down to the wire, maybe even overtime on that opening map. But then Spirit won 2 rounds in the second half, one of which was that donk pistol ace.
Yeah, a little surprising to see. But credit over to IEM especially, just playing disruptive in middle. He had so many impactful rounds. He had like, I mean, on top of the triple kills, he was playing a really smart game in terms of gathering information. Team Counter-Strike he was playing. It's a lot of those intangibles that Na'Vi has been harping on, especially towards the start of last year when Emo was still individually struggling about how much he brings and how impactful he is as a player. Well, you saw some of those intangibles on Mirage. Hopefully he can continue to put them together on Dust2. Spirit love a good catwalk play on this map. They love just walking out, staying grouped up catwalk, having that wall of smokes along it and turning the corner. Usually Zontics will be staying lurking in middle and lower. This round taken out of the fight, and Magix is still going to push forward.
And he's fully blinded, still running with that same intensity as if he weren't. Alexi B with a 5-7 gets the second kill. Wonderful landing another shot. This is still doable, but Donk ripping it from their hands. Shiro alongside of him. And despite getting the opening kill, Na'Vi unable to convert this into victory.
Well, there's a couple low players. Could get a little weird.
Well, he wants to take Shiro down. The high HP player up first, and now they're all tagged. And Bit unable to get past Donk. So 2-0 start here for Team Spirit. But yeah, we got to see Dust2 just yesterday for Team Spirit against Astralis, and they were just getting short whenever they wanted it. They were just taking mid-control. Donk was walking up cat, just wrecking Device even when he had the ult posted up on the angle. They are just so fluid, and it feels like they're always in control.
I mean, they're very comfortable with a lot of different things you can do in this map. Okay, a revolver on JL, trying to recreate the magic.
Yeah, exactly. The one clip of the revolver everybody remembers was JL on this map, so let's see what he's able to do with it.
I mean, Spirit's going to give you a bunch of different looks. We saw the long play, but I mean, obviously walking up catwalk, challenging out middle. Another team, also a team that likes to kind of contact and trade in the B halls as well. And Navi's going to be intimately aware with all of this. Dust2, they've played 3 times in their 7 matchups over the past years. It's 2-1 in the favor of Spirit.
Hey, maybe we'll even that up as well today.
Yeah, Navi making all sorts of gains, potentially.
Good start for a USP. Somehow there's enough USPs combining together. Melt away Magix. Donk is waiting in the lower tunnels. He's blinded though. Oh, here it comes. Bit with a second kill. Why? Why are the USPs working so well? Na'Vi have got weapons on the ground, then a 2v2.
It's a good flashbang. Blinded both players and let them take out the Halls player first, and then the player at Xbox is just kind of left alone. Bit's going to try and do some extra damage with this MAC-10. Spots the rifle out in the open. Tough fight with that MAC-10, and he's just trying to whittle away at him. Death by 1,000 cuts. There's the dig. Jumping up onto the boxes. Coming next, it's Alexi. And a 2-on-1, but is there time?
Chop.
Is that a smoke? Ooh, you get real nervous if you're Chop.
Yeah. Big Chop. I'll see what he can do about it. Smoke comes in. Yep, panic mode. Panic mode! mode, and he's tapping onto that defuse, and Chopper the Stopper prevents that defuse from happening, and it will be the 3 in a row. But Navi with a revolver, mainly the USPs,
maybe
doing some damage.
Maybe a little mistake from Navi there, although I'll say tough to kind of organize that detail in the chaos and the heat of the moment with the timing of everything, but they have the rifle defusing the bomb and the MAC-10 trying to protect at range. You swap that up, maybe Alexi is able to shoot back with the Galil just a little bit to keep Chopper honest or to make Chopper switch his target. You can see Bit with that MAC-10 is just like, I can't really find a good angle for this thing. Tech pause going into round 4, so we're going to chill.
Well, I can reveal to you that Zontix has some mouse problems. Donk told me that.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Just looking in the chat, you know.
Good friends.
Thank you for information, Donk. Looks like we have more than that. He's disappeared.
I was going to say, I don't think you get up for mouse issues.
Where is he? Yeah, it has to be under the desk. There he is.
Hey.
Welcome back, Zontix. Oh. Nice pink mouse for Zontix. So, currently another matchup going on as well. This feels like it should be the only game, Jason, worth talking about, but we have got another one going on. It's Astralis versus Furia. Device versus Fallen in that AWPing department. And that's for survival here in Katowice.
I say that's an elimination game. A couple of AWPing legends in that matchup as well, Fallen and Device. Had a good chat with them.
Yeah, how did that go?
It was nice. Talking through the career, talking through some of their matchups they've had over the years.
And where can we watch and listen to this?
That would be on the ESL Counter-Strike YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Under the videos.
There's plenty of other content there too.
It's in the last 8 videos that have been uploaded.
Okay, well that's cool.
One of the first 2 rows you'll scroll past.
Plenty of content. Alright, so just working through some of those issues. I mean, it's very likely that we now go to a 3rd map in the series just with how good Team Spirit have been on Dust2 recently. And that 3rd map, well, it could be a real banger because we wanted to go there in their last game in the semifinals of Blast. It was taken away by an double overtime victory from Team Spirit. That 3rd and final map, if we require it, is Nuke. Any sort of records to try and tie up over there on Nuke, Jason?
Nuke would be 2-1 in the favor of Spirit as well.
Oh.
Just for fun, Ancient is 5-0 in the favor of Spirit.
Oh, that's why we don't see Ancient then.
Anubis is the only map Navi have the advantage on. It's 1-0. And they played that at Katowice last year.
Yes, and Anubis is also, outside of the Mirage, they just lost. Spirit's only map lost this year against Eternal Fire in that grand final.
Still early going. We have time to break all of those records in 2025.
Yeah, maybe Donk will break some of his own.
It's possible.
Set some new ones.
I like this breathing strip. I was casting with the breathing strip in map number 1.
Yeah, how was that?
Or no, in series number 1, I should say.
How was that? How did you feel? More oxygenated?
I did.
I did feel like you were smarter.
Yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
I'm sure the audience felt the very same way as well.
I could definitely feel it. Well, it's gone now, Jason.
It is gone. It did fall off eventually. Well, this just gives a lot of time for Blade to memorize his notes. I don't think he's looked away from that paper. He's just scanning up and down it.
New season, new haircut for Wonderful.
What do you think of it? How's the glow up?
It's
a zoomer, are you rating it?
That's a zoomer haircut right there.
Okay.
That is definitely a zoomer haircut.
Want to know something funny?
What's it? What's funny?
That looks like the hair that I had when I was a young gamer.
Oh God. Okay. Well, I could see that, Jason.
Yeah.
That's kind of crazy. Let's to think about you. I have seen photos of your hair, Jason, and it was special.
It's freaky.
A little confusion for
Shiro's just like,
hey, what's going on?
Why can't my teammates figure out the mouse? Okay, they're ready.
All right.
Fist bumps are coming out. Extended tech pause, but it's all good.
You know, one of my biggest pet peeves with some players, and I'm not saying that happened here, but like just in general, is when they don't charge their wireless mouse, and then you have to just sit there and wait for them to slightly charge it up again.
I think if you forget to charge your wireless mouse before an official game, you should have to play with it wired.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
That should be the punishment.
Old-fashioned. Responsible of jail. Look at that. We've got Chopper breathing easy and JL breathing hard.
All right, well, not as ready as we thought, but now we are. Tech
yeah,
pause.
Now we're good.
It's canceled. Everyone's readied up.
Bum, bum.
Round 4, AWP in the hands of Wonderful, AWP in the hands of Shiro as well. Both teams with full buys going into these gun rounds. If you're just joining us, qualification game, one of these two teams makes it to the playoffs. The loser of this series drops down and plays Team Liquid for elimination.
Tough game regardless for Team Liquid. Historically have had a better record against NAVI. Smoke broken open. Wonderful not detecting anybody behind it.
Donk and Chopper in tandem up catwalk. Zontix in his lurk position and lower. Shiro in support. Magic's looking for a long push. Ema shifts to CT spawn. Wonderful's off, going to be at the A railing. Alexi out towards long. Bit and JL defending the B-bomb site. And Donk will lead the way up catwalk. No resistance. Plenty of space to work with.
Flash high in the sky, 55 seconds. Grenade to the mouth of Magic's. And it does not taste good. Smoke execute ready to go here for Chopper. It's going to drop the smokes down into Cat. Remember which one he needed to toss out. Shiro's got the other. And Emma knows what's coming. And with that smoke, it prevents the spot from which he wanted to play from. And Wonderful throwing utility down, trying to disrupt and delay this attack in. Wonderful out to the right side. Chopper dispatched off. Wonderful looking for more, but it's Alexi B's rifle that chimes in next, and they've got the read on the long flank. Great consideration, great relocation, and Wonderful is devastation. Great work with that AWP. And Spirit get no closer to the A site.
Yeah, they had no chance of turning that corner. The initial thrust shut down first by Wonderful's op, and when Donk is taken down at barrels, there's no more chance. That's the teeth of the attack gone. You mentioned reading the play. Well, when Alexi shows up on the kill feed, Zontix is like, all right, long player's there, I'll make my move. But a good heads-up spin from Wonderful. Alexi probably calling it out, watch long, and both had their gaze turned. And Zontix apparently saying, these issues ain't solved. So tech yet again.
Katowice this year has best of threes the whole way through. Last year, best of ones. Spirit still dealt with him quite comfortably. Towards the end of the groups, they were given some problems last year. You know, NAVI, one of the teams they met, if I recall correctly, back then in Kato, just at the group stages, and definitely tested, pushed to the limits, and
that was before we knew what NAVI was going to turn into.
And before we knew Spirit were going to turn into.
That's true, that's fair. Yeah, but we got an idea real quick at Katowice.
Yes, that's true. The tone Spirit was set, yes. The two teams of 2024, NAVI the first half of the year major winners, and Team Spirit rounding out the second half of the year with a victory in Shanghai.
Spirit's year seemed like there were just some very nice peaks, right? Winning the trophy in Katowice to kick things off, winning the Blast Spring Finals in London later on, and then winning the major at the end of the year, obviously the highlight. For NAVI, it was like win the major, go on a little bit of a slump, and then come roaring back. 5 straight
grand finals.
Yeah, plenty of grand finals, few trophies mixed in there.
But it's interesting here from JL in that podcast with Harry, where they were talking about the fact that, yeah, we had such a great year. We won Team of the Year. We had so many finals, trophies picked up. But because of the negative performance at the end of the year at the major, it still felt like they had a sour taste in their mouth. Like they couldn't fully celebrate all of the amazing accomplishments that they had. Showing off their plushies.
I believe that's a Bulbasaur. Plant-based Pokemon Dinko. Turns into Ivysaur.
Vegan.
That's like a penguin.
I think we have some team comms to listen into, so let's listen in.
Guys, blue Impa. Yusuf, блять, это молли шорт. Flashing. Gendal dead. I'll flash cut. Come close. Get flash.
Watching side.
And Spirit.
Left side.
Nice, come on.
I don't see.
Too short, too short.
Long out.
Dead long. I'm flashing window.
I don't see. Flash window.
I'm playing time.
Short.
Too short. Nice. 5 is there. Nice!
Nice!
Drop Ekis if you can. Drop Ekis CT if you can, guys.
No chance.
Игорь,
It's
красава.
very slow time.
Nice, Igor, bro.
Nice, Игорь, красава.
Nice,
Спасибо.
спасибо.
Always great to hear Bit communicating in English. I really like that. I mean, not so long ago, it was a simple, convenient interview saying only God can help Bit with his English.
Yeah.
And we were all kind of wondering, how is this international team going to go? We might have to see Bit drop off, and that's pretty sad. I mean, the initial start to last year in Kato, I remember it felt a little emo when you looked at NAVI. The results were not good. It was not working.
Yeah.
They were kind of just walking around a little bit sad at the hotel. And Bit, at the end of the year, as the second-time major champion, is then giving his acceptance speech, winning an award at the HLTV Awards in English, and it's just beautiful to see like his progression in so many facets last year.
Yeah, I remember when it kind of popped off at the Copenhagen Major, the way that setup was, the desk was like right in between two teams, and we actually were down there while Navi was finishing their game against Spirit, oddly enough, that crazy nuke match that JL won with some incredible clutches. And I remember just being amazed listening to Bit and how much he was communicating in English and how much he seemed to be dictating for Navi at the time. So yeah, it's been a really cool progression, his career.
You're, just bringing up all these historical matches between these two squads throughout last year is crazy. Like, they just have played each other so much, and 2025 seems to be no different. This is the second time they played in just over a week, and we're gonna probably see it in the playoffs at some point. Like, that's a real possibility as well. Getting very familiar with each other, and the thing about these top teams is they don't get a lot of time to practice. With the schedule being so hectic and going event to event, it's not like you can really have a lot of time to sit back and work on your playbook. We heard Zontic say they used up their entire ancient playbook in the last game to get the win. So, that adds some interest into these kind of games.
Well, I think what's going to be interesting about it too is, especially if Navi go on to lose this series, Spirit comes back and takes the series in 3 maps or something, you have to think like moving forward. Train's been introduced in the pool. How can that change the nature of this series?
True.
Haven't seen them play it quite yet against each other. At the very least, I know Spirit played it back in the group stage a couple weeks back. But that could be something that maybe if Navi was to go on and lose and they're like, all right, we clearly need to change some things. Maybe one of the things we want to change is our approach in the map pool. Maybe Train's a map that we're starting to feel good on. We want to bring up against them.
Navi obviously have a lot of firepower, but not as comparable to that of just the raw ability that Team Spirit have. And Navi seem to be much more of a system-based team, and so looking into the map pool, etc., it matters so much more for Navi, it feels like, in terms of hard prepping for their opponents. And I think that's why Navi sometimes they can struggle against some of the weaker teams.
Wait, who's winning, Dinko? Who we got this here? They're doing Sandy do 1, 2, 3 shoot.
I watched Squid Game recently.
Nice.
And rock, paper, scissors will never be the same for me after watching season 2 of Squid Game. And
Sure.
if you know, you know. And you obviously don't know, Jason.
No, I don't waste time with
TV? What do you do? Chopping wood?
Yeah, mostly.
No. Well, anybody out there that's watched it, they know what I'm talking about.
They know what you're talking about. What do you think they're thinking about, Dinko? I bet Chopper's thinking about...
Yeah?
I was going to say cherry pie.
Cherry pie? I don't know if it's necessarily as popular
Outside of America, as I might
America
think.
as you might think. Yeah, Jason.
That's fair.
Growing up in the UK, you get a lot of good savory pies, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just superior to sweet pies.
Okay.
Would you disagree?
I don't really like pies at all.
No.
So,
Was the pastry?
I don't know.
Just the shape?
It's not my thing.
That's fair. Takes a lot of patience to enjoy a tech pause. You're just like really resisting the urge to communicate with your teammate.
Well, let's see what have we got later on today in terms of scheduling. We got, let's see, Phase G2. That's a sweet game.
I think just
That's for elimination?
There's so many cool matchups that have happened already in the group stages of this event. Like, we've had Nico playing against G2 for the first time. We had Rops playing against FaZe last night. And they were back-to-back. Both games delivered. Both
Yep.
were exciting games. So I think we're in for a great year at Counter-Strike, Jason.
Phase G2 is going to be fun. Eternal Fire taking on 3D Max. That's going to be cool. I really like 3D Max. I really like watching them play. I don't know if they'll win that game. Eternal Fire is really good.
I just read in the team chat, and Jay was like, you guys also talking about strats in team chat? Choppers, of course.
There's a little bit of trolling. Well, the Mongols won that game against Gamer Legion. Astralis up 1-0 over Furia. That's on the B stream. And then there's that Eternal Fire 3D Max game coming up this evening to close things out. Good news!
What's that, Jason?
Has been completed.
Oh, yeah.
Yet again.
Here we go.
We're back. Thanks for sticking with us through the extended break. It is 3-1 in the favor of Team Spirit, but Navi is up 1-0. They took Mirage. If they can win Dust2, they'll qualify for the Spodek for the IEM Katowice playoffs. Spirit will drop down and play Liquid, but we got a long map ahead of us to see what comes next. Nuke could be a third and deciding map if we get there.
Silence as they take the lower tunnels. Not assembling the boost as effectively as Donk would have liked, but they communicate together, and regardless, short is smoked. I mean, if there's any hope of a round like this, having an AK in Donk's hands is certainly the way to go.
Yeah, and a little bit of utility to try and activate. A couple flashbangs, but JL and Bit is an intimidating defense. So JL on platform, Bit's going to slide into the site. Chopper lurks through the mid-smoke, but I mean, he's only, what, got a Glock, so it's not like that's going to be doing much at all. Ema even slides over to get a little closer. Alexi and Wonderful and Ema, they've heard nothing on the A side of the map, and now comes the push.
Bit up on top. It's going to be nice and clean on the initial hold, and here comes Donk's AK. Great headshot, and stopped before he can take another step forward.
Yeah, I think Bit had a mouse jump at the end that makes it look a little bit silly, but nice cleanup from Navi, not letting those Glocks do any damage. Even the AK from Donk is limited to 2. 1 round lead for Spirit, but their guns come back out.
Got to dust themselves off after perhaps falling a little bit asleep during that long tech issue.
Yeah, the tactical pause obviously called, as we could see the coaches having quite a bit of chatter with both of their teams. Having a lot of input on what's coming next. A really big round as this half truly gets underway. Round 6.
Blade just asked for a timeout right at the end of freeze time though to Alexi.
Okay, so that would have been a Spirit timeout and now a Navi timeout.
Yes. So, you know, he left it to the last second and asked for a timeout.
He's like, oh, dang it, right at the end. I got the idea I wanted to.
Yeah, exactly.
I really got there at the end, and I want to finish this thought. Everyone chill.
An opportunity to burn an extra 30 seconds. Talking to Emma and Alexi.
I saw a throwing motion, so perhaps discussing utility, nade work.
Well, you'd hope so. Not a whole lot of action in the last 10 minutes, but here we go. Back into it. Not the prettiest buy here for Team Spirit. Still got some Galils in play. 3, in fact. 2 AK-47s. More sparse in utility than they would like to be. And for Navi, they've got everything. They've got the AWP as well.
So Alexi outside at long. Ema shifts over to CT spawn. Pick up a little bit of utility and then up towards Catwalk. Alexi's going to back away closer towards Car. I feel like Spirit's approach in the early going of Dust2 and even back on Mirage, these T-sides have been like slow and quiet. So Navi not really forced to burn a whole lot of utility in the first 30 seconds of these rounds.
Anytime that Spirit have kind of gone for this heavy cat execute as well, Navi have been able to shut it down.
Yeah, this is interesting though. Alexibi voluntarily gives up a long position. So Navi control neither catwalk nor long, which usually is a recipe for disaster, but there's no long lurk to backstab whatsoever. Alexi steps up and replenishes the smoke, and with the time on the clock, Spirit might have to go elsewhere.
We'll see at 35 seconds left. Chopper still waiting to deploy that cat execute out.
This is going to be like a 20-second execute?
Yeah, and look at Imma. He's so ready for the short push to come through. He starts spamming, alerting the Spirit player to the fact there's a player just on the other side of the smoke. Imma's going to dive out, and so are Spirit. They go back in the middle. This time, Wonderful position to stop that B-ramp push, and time is the problem. Wonderful's got another, and yeah, Spirit go nowhere with this one. 9 seconds, not enough time to get in with that bomb.
Yeah, but enough time to put yourself in a position where you're going to get cleaned out when time is done.
Time, $100 left here on Shiro, $750 in the bank for Magic. Shiro still stands towards the end, but $750 left for Magic. So that's a disastrous round, especially after back-to-back timeouts.
Yeah, that's a great point. Back-to-back timeouts, and still that round is just flat. The first smoke is pulled out on catwalk at about 1 minute and 8 seconds by Donk, but that follow-up from Alexi really ruined anything that Spirit wanted to do. And Navi's just like, if you're going to be chill and quiet to open up these rounds, we'll hold our nades, we'll stall you out. They had a late smoke on catwalk and a late Molotov in the double doors that negated plants A and B and made that round look sloppy. All tied up at 3.
Two defenders at B bomb site. We've got Bit up first. He's making sure there's no one pinned in that corner. JL ready to punish a runaway.
Bit and JL do a really good job working together and playing together at this bomb site. They're really good at coordinating when they want to fight out mid and when they want to fight for the bomb site itself. Play very nicely off of each other, so getting into the B bomb site is always going to be a tough affair throughout this half for Team Spirit.
Well, it's a pretty similar story in terms of Spirit being able to get short control like they did against Astralis. It's just the final pieces that have been a lot different. Navi preventing them from bursting through the mid doors. Chopper to go down at the hands of Imma. And this round, once again, it goes nowhere for Team Spirit. Navi in control.
Yeah, AK-47 for Donk, though. Could go for some economic damage. Might just decide to save this AK-47 for the next round, but that's... If he goes for that decision, that's another round where him and Zontix don't make bonus money, and thus they are just going to push forward, it appears. They want that bonus money. Buys have been rough for Spirit. So Donk going to lead the way with the AK-47. JL up on platform, tucked in tight.
Imma and JL clean up the final two. 4-3 lead here for Navi. Fist bumps all around. It's going exactly as planned.
I feel like there's got to be a change of pace at some point.
Yeah.
Something a little bit more aggressive, something a little bit faster to force Navi into some decisions. They're getting the luxury of time on their side, on the CT side, to burn utility and figure out what's happening across the map. And Spirit's going to have to start doing some things to disrupt these defensive protocols.
Yeah, lack of bomb plant as well as preventing them from getting the good buys here where they can continue to challenge. Great bit of engineering to allow the boost up for Wonderful over the top of the Xbox. He gets that opening pick and he falls back. So a round where Team Spirit start with weaker weapons anyway, they're also giving a further disadvantage after losing Zontix.
They're just going to walk through this smoke as it fades. Out double doors we go. Nobody's close up. I've mentioned Bit and JL a number of times. They're going to be tested.
Well, Bit and JL combined together. They don't allow Spirit through, and it's not much of a test, it would seem. They've prepared for this one. They've studied. Magic's cleaned up by Imma as he comes in to support.
Haven't really seen anyone take a long spawn and attack Alexibi out towards long A. No long quick plays, no change of pace with Donk kind of streaming down mid and getting up catwalk or out mid at the minute and 20, 30 second mark. Everything's been slow and calculated, and this is another timeout from Team Spirit. They burn their second. 5 in a row for Navi. Wonderful sitting at $10,000. JL at $9,700. They're rich, they're steamrolling, and they've got a 2-round lead.
This could be the second time ever that Navi have beaten Team Spirit. Played 7 times, Spirit have won 6 of them. And that man JL giving us the wink. He said he wanted revenge. Perhaps today is that day. The winner of this goes on to play the Mongols as well to decide how far they go into the playoffs.
The seeding game.
Yeah.
All right, well, here's not a change of pace, but maybe a more aggressive opening. Shiro's grabbed an angle with the AWP. They've seen JL a number of times on platforms, so looking to exploit the crossover and actually a double stack. This could be deadly. There's Shiro, first kill. JL sold down the river with that frag and perfectly called out of the timeout for Spirit and Hallie. Exploiting the defense. And Navi's forced to save.
Yeah, no other option. You just got to save when those 2 B defenders go down that cleanly. I mean, I guess that's the one positive of the amount of round losses Team Spirit have had towards this B bomb size. They've seen enough looks of it. They can construct a plan on how to deal with it. The 1-2 punch of Donk and Shiro.
JL and Bit had that exact same setup a round or 2 ago as well, just never got spotted. So they really wanted to have that double stack, and calling it in a round where Spirit's going to have the money for an AWP. Maybe losing track of that a little bit, but punished. 5-4.
Yeah, Dust2 can play out like this when that B-bomb site is immediately taken. Just there's no way you can really compete to get back in on the retake, and that's been the case for many a year.
And I mean, it's good that Spirit found some success there in this round, because just thinking about it, they've only attacked A couple of times. One of them was like the wonderful triple or quad kill with the AWP.
Yeah, and they just get shut down on the short play.
And then the next one was getting stalled out by utility and falling into a really disorganized hit out middle out of necessity. Yeah. So I mean, if you're Spirit, you're like, oh wow, these A hits, no success. They've actually been rather ugly. Having some success at the B bomb site might motivate the defense to shift a little bit. Might give you a little bit of breathing room. Oh, we gotta get a B-rush. Here's the change of pace.
Oh, JL gets the rifle out. Bit gets caught by a flash. JL unleashing bullets, but will he get kills? The answer to that is no. And Wonderful's come in to try and plug the gap, but the B-bomb site has once again fallen, and this time it's unlikely to be a full save, but look how far away Alexi is, and that's going to cause a problem. They have a lot of time to wait, and at least that bomb hasn't gone down yet.
I wonder if they're even going to creep close and see if they can give this one a glance, to see if they can get a kill early on to make this worthwhile. Perhaps not, but Alexi has a pretty big jump on the flank.
Dude, look how much he has to clear, though. Oh, yeah.
Well, you don't have to clear it.
Yeah, true, but he's not even going for it now. So it's the exits, but that's back-to-back B hits for Team Spirit.
Yeah, there you go.
You called it a change of pace really coming through. Team Spirit had the same idea, and it's very effective towards that B-bomb site.
Yeah, it's the only thing made sense considering how this half has played out, because those slow rounds have been extremely slow. You had to have known the speed was going to pick up at some point. Just probably didn't assume it would be a B-rush. Good first kill. Distraction for Ema, taking guns away at the end of the day. Nade and bomb blast and headshot. It's 5-5. Only Zontic survives, but Spirit's happy to get a second round in a row on the board.
Now the question is, do we see them do it again? I'd really respect it, Jason. I think it would be very exciting if they did it again.
Or what, a B-rush?
Yeah. Rush B!
Let's not get too crazy.
I mean, if Bit doesn't get flashed as he comes through that window, then there's a way stronger chance that Navi are able to do something there. But that flash is perfectly timed. As Bit comes through window, he can't get anything done.
I mean, it's also part of the panic of JL hearing all the footsteps and all the utility and shouting B-rush, and yeah, Bit getting pulled right into a flashbang.
Timeout taken here for Navi. Blade having to say they're going to try and make adaptations to deal with the threat that's coming at the B-bomb site. And we'll see what adaptation that is.
Perhaps you still emphasize the B bomb site and attack it from middle, some kind of a split. I've been looking for it. Spirit haven't gotten a whole lot of long spawns. I mentioned we haven't seen any of those long takes with the spawn to try and attack into Alexi. Magix is trying to fake it a little bit.
Yeah, especially combined with that long corner smoke thrown out by Chopper.
Yeah, but Ima's already through and saying, nope, nothing
not
long.
doing anything.
This ain't it.
It's great information picked up for Ima. Or rather, by Ima. Donk on the prowl in middle. Climbing up onto the short from the Xbox. Wonderful's got the op here. But that Molotov is going to force him to change his position. Bit and JL are on high alert after being bombarded at the B bomb site in back-to-back rounds.
Very late long take. Wonderful has a deep angle. Magix would be his first victim.
There's no flashes here either.
One on Shiro, just getting chucked out now. Timing shot for Wonderful, not completely blind, but he splits the difference right through both players. Can't get away, no smoke to cover his cross, so Wonderful's here until he goes down.
Yep, just waiting. Here comes the peak. They're trying to bait the shot out of the AWP. They know he's likely to be positioned here on the car, and they go around that corner. Missed shot from Wonderful. His teammate Ima going down. Wonderful goes for the close shot. He sees them moving up, but can only get one. And this puts all the pressure on Alexi B, who holds Zaltix coming through that smoke. 23 seconds left. Chopper still down in CT, and Shiro out long side, forcing Alexi B into the open with the fire and the flames, and finished off by the Glock. It is bit in this 1v2, and he can't flick down a Chopper.
Needed that kill much, much cleaner, but you have to say Wonderful is going to be the one punching the table saying, my bad, 2 missed shots. First one flashed, second one just a miss on the swing. If he gets one of those 2, that round is way more manageable. And for an Opera of Wonderful's quality, you'd expect him to have hit one of them. So perhaps a little bit of frustrating, but down the stretch here, Spirit have found the solutions. It took them quite some time. It wasn't looking great, but 3 in a row now. Giving themselves a 6-5 lead.
Wonderful's gonna peek, but look at that shot from Shiro.
Woof.
Just seen enough of Wonderful. Rips his head off of his shoulders. Advantage now for Spirit. Bit has to fall back from his initial aggressive position. He'll play behind the double doors. Mid to B smoke thrown out by Shiro. Waiting for JL to make an overextension. Shot rings out, Bit goes forward, gets melted. Combined with the aggression though from Ima. Might work out for NAVI, but the answer to that is no, because Zaltix steps up, and we are looking at a 7-5 scoreline. Spirit figure it out on the T side towards the end, and they have a small lead.
NAVI can sense the Spodek right around the corner. They took map one away from the playoffs, but they've got Spirit obstructing their path. It's a 7-5 lead for Team Spirit on their map pick of Dust2, and they're looking to extend this series to 3 and battle for that playoff spot.
Dust2 is usually such a reliable map for Team Spirit, and they need it right now if they want the Spodek today.
Weirdly enough, on this map, I actually feel like Donk is more unleashed on the CT side than he is on the T side.
Yeah, he can be devastating. Just the amount of spots and aggressive options, rather, that he can get going. In particular, this is one he loves with the dual Berettas into the lower tunnels. He'll unleash on the first. This JL to go down, and Donk doubles up.
Timed perfectly with the nade off catwalk as well. Good job from Shiro in support. And for NAVI, this is all down to this final play out towards long 3v5. They actually back off it. Smoke flash for Alexi. But you have no control of anywhere on the map. No information. And Donk is going to start hunting.
Chopper jump spotting. Gets the information quite early on.
It's just like, you're just like checkmated. When you see that, you're just like, what are we supposed to do? We can't go B. We know they're going to be pushed up in middle.
Yeah, tough scenario now for NAVI as they decide, okay, well, they know we're trying to go B.
And Magix is never going to commit to this. As soon as this swing happens, take 1 or 2 shots, maybe, and then just back off. You don't actually need to stand tall here. Just call your teammates over, play the 5-on-3.
Well, that cross smoke comes in, and if NAVI can get their way into the bomb site and get a plant, that would be massive considering the circumstances, but even that looks way too far beyond the reality that we live in. And Waterfall gets caught and chopped up. So, great work for Team Spirit, not a single player going down in the pistol.
Yeah, 5 rounds in a row extending to the end of the first half where they rattled off 4 straight. Add in that pistol, both pistols on this map, and Spirit's making a really good bid to let us see Nuke as the final map in this series.
Ooh, nice shot.
Yeah, nice shot in an otherwise quiet game for Zontix. Struggling to have as much impact as he'd like. Magic's down at 2 kills as well. Zontix with a pair, he picks his total up to 5.
A lot of the conversation was around NAVI having to fire on all cylinders, but right now only a couple of cylinders firing for Team Spirit. So yeah, it would be great to see Zontix and Magic start to get going here in the second half. Right now though, a scout for Wonderful, a deagle for Bit, and 3 little Glocks.
We're going to try and give the scout an opportunity to tag anyone who's peeking from Team Spirit, but no one's obliging. No one's giving Wonderful the look. You'd love to get some tags and let the deagle clean it up as the round extends. But both teams playing very cautious, conservative Counter-Strike at the moment.
NAVI, just in behind the short smoke. Just having a look to see if they're getting flanked out. Here's a chance for Magix to farm some kills. Uh-oh. A little bit awkward for Magix. He can try and pull them back. Him dropping towards the ramp allows his teammate Shiro to come into play as well. So just confirming that this one is not going to get out of hand, not giving a single chance to plant the bomb, and back-to-back rounds where Team Spirit keep 5 players alive.
All right, Navi, what have you got in this first gun round? Scout on Wonderful, AK-47s.
I think Holly was very appreciative of the way Magix played that. Instead of getting hungry and going forward to try and get some kills, he's like him a little plaudits for dropping back and using the team play to keep it clean.
Yeah. Those are the decisions you like to see as a coach.
Yeah.
Thankfully.
Ah, your brain's on. Not the prettiest buy here for NAVI, is it?
No. But they can make it work. Ima gonna jump out long, peering at the ground to dodge flashbangs. Late utility usage, including a smoke break. And that's a creative way to defend long if you're Team Spirit. Donk comes out on top, standing tall at the end of the chaos.
And if you're NAVI, it feels like a long, long time since you have been able to win a round here on Dust2. JL makes his way through middle. Shiro to get caught through CT.
And you know the defense is split. You know Zontix is a B player. You know you just saw Donk who got 2 kills out towards long. You know exactly where everyone is. And you can track these movements by timing. Navi quickly, swiftly moving into a B contact.
Zontex is outside of the bomb site at the moment.
Yeah, that mid to B smoke is making him nervous. He wanted to control the mid double doors.
There's a smoke and a molly left for Alexi B, so he can smoke out that door. He's going to send that back to JL. And they're just contact into the B bomb site. Not spotted yet. Here comes the smoke. Zontex actually going for a maneuver where he comes through the lower tunnels and attempts a flank. JL's got the idea.
Only as that molly's burning, though. As soon as that molly fades, he'll turn. Nice shot.
Yeah, patience is going to pay off, and JL will nail his opportunity, and it falls to Donk in the 1v2. He's got a kid on his back, all of his health. And with him, there's always a shot at winning these, but only if he goes for them. And this is tough because JL's a car, Alexi B's deep in the bomb site. And yeah, Donk realizes not a situation that he is going to be capable of winning. And we are looking at a 6th round Navi finally back on the board.
He's thinking he'll set up for some exit kills. Not even coming in his direction. So yeah, 9-6. Navi recover in this round after a dominant opening out towards long. A 2-for-3 trade. An man advantage for Spirit, but a missed shot from Shiro. And then JL and Alexi B put together the 2v2.
This is the most important kill that reactivates the round.
Yeah, good round. Beautiful round from JL. Taking advantage of the missed shot, holding the angle, understanding the flank. If you didn't see a B defender in that scenario, even outside the B bomb site, you gotta have a sense that flank is gonna be dangerous. Tagged, Zontex. Helmet shows over the smoke on his jump. 73 damage dealt through the door.
Navi are fully committed outside of long at the moment. Wonderful holding for that mid push. They have no tunnels control. Spirit have got all of that information, all of that space. So Navi have got to realize there's a timer on their play. And they've been delayed. They've been caged in at long with that deep smoke.
I don't know, Ema can see over the top of it. Does he want to challenge through? It's got the cover of Wonderful's AWP, all of Spirit.
Oh yeah, look how many players are here now.
Zontex is pushed upper dark, so they know the B side of the map is clear. Everyone is shifted over, so Spirit know everything. And you just had mid aggression, so they know there's no danger coming from middle. It all rests on this execute.
Flash goes through that CT smoke from Chopper. Just trying to disrupt Navi's approach into the bomb site. Magic's things heat up for him. Chopper gets a kill on Ima. Just under 40 seconds, here come Navi. Damage done on Magic's. MP9 knocked you for another kill. JL cleared out. Shiro 1 for 1. Alexi B still looking for the follow-up fight, and he gets the fight, just loses it against Donk, so it's all down to chaos, and Donk has got another one. Wonderful in the 1v1, and he's looking to fight him. He switches out to a little MAC-10, and Donk evens out the health situation. Wonderful looking for the shot, but it's Donk that makes the difference.
Maybe a little bit of frustration, maybe a little crazy, hectic communication. Wonderful gonna really regret exposing himself. Donk with low HP is just like, I'm not letting you dictate this fight. I'm gonna swing wide. Catches Wonderful off guard, swapping weapons, and that makes him look a little bit silly. Probably makes him feel a little bit silly.
Look how frustrated he is with that. Yeah, he knows that that's a winnable fight for him.
It's a critical 1v1, and he kind of wastes the opportunity shuffling weapons and not expecting this from Donk.
The quick switch as well.
What a save from Donk.
Look what it does to Navi's economy. Look at their buy straight away. Wonderful down to a scout. Deagles on the rest. Shiro holding for this mid-push forward. Ima's already got out. He got into the cubby. This could be a little uncomfortable for Shiro.
If he takes a shot, right? Ima's going to push and turn that corner, try and catch him before he's able to get the next bullet in the chamber. Swinging wide. Still no clue about Ima's position. Donk watching for that swing. But Ima being so patient.
How wide does that smoke expand for Ima? Okay, so he's still got space to work with. Shiro's attention's being drawn over towards A instead as we go under 1 minute on this clock. Navi with one of these short smokes. They're going to try and use it to devastating effect, but here comes Chopper nipping in behind. It's a double from the MP9.
Well, that's the kill that might get them to shift into IEM's position, and they do. But it's always going to be a tough fight there, and now Shiro's just picking them off one by one. 11-6, Spirit 2 rounds away, and Dust2, their trusty map pick, is looking just so solid. One final chance for NAVI to have a crack at this to close the gap. AK-47's brought out. And a timeout called. I'm sorry, I can hear Harry yelling.
I can hear
through the wall.
Why? So I don't know what Hugo's doing to him, but
something's happening. NAVI timeout. So Blade trying to organize his final chance at organizing a round to get NAVI back in business. They have never caught any kind of momentum or flow here on the T side.
Be on the same page and just dictate on them. We just made it like ridiculously hard for us for no reason. Martial
Alexi perhaps a little bit frustrated, things feeling more difficult than they have to. Maybe some miscues in different scenarios that they've had to deal with. The T side on Mirage was so clinical, such great calling, such good team cohesion from NAVI. Here on Dust2, they haven't had the same success.
Donk smoked out at CT. I think what will only add to the frustration that NAVI are probably feeling in this moment are situations like that 1v1 for Wonderful. You know, little individual moments like that that just start to pile up because you know the ramifications of winning that round could have spurred you on and got you into a position where you could pick up Dust2 here. But those moments where you drop them against Team Spirit, as NAVI intimately know, can cost you these map victories.
What's crazy is they had like 3 or 4 of those on Mirage and still were able to outlast it. Here on Dust2, they're not able to kind of recover from those mistakes nearly as easily. Up catwalk we go with 4.
Decent damage done onto a couple of the defenders here for Spirit. Magic's down on 41, 55 for Chopper.
Trying to show a mid to B split, but I don't think Spirit's going to bite on this whatsoever.
Look at the flank. Magic's around the backside. Oh, good turn from Bit. Magic's going to be frustrated that he didn't bite down on that one. 29 seconds, though. Limited time, and NAVI are coming towards Shiro. And he'll silence Alexi B. Still worried about Long because Magic's is gone, and JL nails the shot. So it's all about Goose. It's all about Chopper, and he gets wrecked by JL.
Got a SWAT drop? No. IEM stays composed. Doesn't go for the Hollywood play. 11-7, good entries provided by JL. An incredible 2024 for JL as he burst onto the scene, looking to replicate that success here in 2025. He's delivered them round 18 and brings them within 4.
And that moment has to be the catalyst that reignites NAVI's Dust2 here. JL's had a couple of big impact rounds. This one, and then earlier in the half as well when he was able to take that play through the mid doors, catch the CT player, and win the 2v2. Op maintenance for Team Spirit. They'll still have Shiro on it. The only player having to take a hit is Magic, so goes down to an MP9, and Wonderful attempts the long pick. Gets information on the crossing player, unable to connect the shot though, and there might be a little bit more pressure towards this B bomb side. Donk is going to peek up, gets the instant dink, but once again it's JL shredding through the defenses. JL is dragging NAVI into this competition.
Oh, I think NAVI might hunt this one down too. They have a player at top middle who's locked them in out towards long. They've spotted the cross back over. And NAVI's got some money. They can risk a couple of weapons to try and take a few away from Spirit. But JL starting to come online. Starting to provide that impact to bring this back. And if they can take weapons away and break the economy of Team Spirit, that gap's going to close. but thinking better of it. Strengthening their own economy first. It's 11-8. The gap is now just 3.
Terrorists win.
And they don't hunt it down. Spirit able to save 3 players. But the money situation's still not great. Magic can drop. Chopper and Zontex are very low on money. Yep.
Here we go. Round 20. Boosted up. The op spotted as well. Shiro hasn't taken his peek just yet. Wonderful holding it, pinning it down. Doesn't take any kind of a shot. Broken open. Wonderful's ready. Wonderful's ready, and Shiro's
they
legged.
Both land shots. Blow for blow, but only the legs.
And a save otherwise for Spirit outside of the 3 weapons that they bring into this round. And with those weaker weapons, Spirit's taking a risk. Footsteps heard by JL. Sees at least 2. Knows the M4 is in Upper Dark as well. Gonna back away. He is alone, so he's got to be very careful.
Don't want to give them an AK to play with either. NAVI start to make their way out long. Spirit have no long control, but they've got short control. Good spam. It's Alexi B being tagged up, weakened. Obviously, that's very important when you've got some of these pistols in play.
And it's taken the angle to nade into the bomb site away from Shiro, who could have maybe done some great damage.
Chopper's about to clear JL. Look at this. He comes around the backside. JL surely should go down. Oh, Chopper, that was the moment. That was the chance. And JL with 3 kills.
That's the second time he's had that USP flank. He had it on Mirage as well. But an AK is picked up by Donk, which is a nice little addition to the arsenal, so he'll keep that in his hands. And the op will move forward on Magix. But Navi turn the score 11-9 in the favor of Team Spirit. 3 in a row for Navi's offense. Much like Spirit, starting slow, starting without really being able to figure out exactly where success is going to be found on this map. But Alexi's hit a very nice moment after a timeout where he's starting to piece together the best way to approach this half.
That was a satisfying high-five sound.
That was
a good connection.
Really well done, boys.
Go on, Chopper. All right, Hallie, there we go. Fist bump in. Tech issue, or no, we got just a regular old timeout, Jason?
Yeah, this one called by Spirit. It's their 3rd and final timeout. So Holly's not liking what he's seeing and not super happy with any adaptations that have been made that haven't yielded success. So his final chance to get involved and help his boys out of a tight spot. JL, these last 3 rounds from him, this 3-round streak that Navi has been on, he's provided double entries in the 2 gun rounds. Now he's just done a great work holding on to the middle of the map.
Yeah, that was stylish. The little flicks left and right.
17-13 for JL, leading the way for Navi. It's Donk on the top for Spirit with 19 frags.
Surprise, surprise. Lurk smoke trickles down into that. Oh, timing for Shiro to unscope is just so disastrous. Emma and JL with 2 huge openers here for Navi. And they're going to try and go with it right now. The only player defending the B bomb site is Donk.
They'd love another smoke for this mid to B to give Alexi a little bit more time. He does have a Molotov. How aware are you going to be? Donk can still turn this around. He's got that saved AK-47.
Oh, he's got Chopper to help him as well. Oh, but Donk gets blasted through the smoke. And Spirit are getting silenced. Navi finding their way back into Dust2. They went quiet for a moment, but JL breathes life back into them. And a scoreline of 11-10 now rings out, and money is in the bin for Team Spirit. And it's not like they haven't had their moments to call these timeouts. They just used one, they just burnt one, and it did not net the result they hoped for.
Lexi's turning into like god tier IGL mode right now. And then on top of that, you're getting some of these picks and these early kills. So when you move around the map, the protocols of who's sitting around and watching what, Ema lurking middle with an op to cover the cross. Even though Alexi B goes down, there's redundancy to make sure it doesn't get out of control. Magix lands JL, but the op will be dropped and not brought forward. And Spirit have some problems and no timeouts to use to work through them. 11-10, 4 in a row for NAVI. And the margins. The timing on Shiro unscoping Catwalk for just a dry peek from Ema, the first time he's done it all half.
Oh, look at this. The buy is, it's got 3 MP9s.
Yeah, but because you have the op on Shiro, you're fine going for it.
A huge opportunity in front of NAVI now to get their second ever win against Team Spirit.
Nice shot, good timing, blinded. But still lands Ema. And where does NAVI go from here? JL gonna lead the way towards mid. But Chopper has an idea this is coming. CT spawn will be smoked off, counter nades thrown in, Donk is close up as well. JL's gonna tuck himself into the cubby. Donk swings wide, the spam is there, and JL punishes.
Another huge kill from JL, and he'll not stop. This is huge from JL, massive game. And NAVI, 11-11, is about to ring out. Zontix is under pressure, and it was JL who said he wanted revenge. It was JL who said he wanted this win, and he is leading by example and showing how much he really wants it. But that peak from Wonderful may have just opened up the chance again.
Yeah, but you got no kit. Do you want to risk your own AWP and going for this? Shiro's still very, very far away, rotating in now. This would be risky if they decide to go for it. This could be the map on the line.
And the big risks can often net big rewards. Magix and Shiro going in with the final pieces of utility. Alexi B lets them run in, Bit with that first headshot ringing out, and Shiro is nowhere near getting involved in this round. Good shot onto Bit, but time is the problem. He'll retreat, he'll try and drop that second player. He'll be successful in doing so, and he'll get away, pick up his AWP. But for NAVI, it is 11-11, and JL's dream of a second win versus Spirit might just become reality.
And this was the magic of JL last year. Not all the time are you going to see his stats blow up, but the impact he provides. He's got that quality of delivering when NAVI need it most, and that's what he's done in this stretch of 5 rounds. This feels like this comeback is all JL.
Wonderful makes his charge, his sprint towards Chopper at long. And he'll have to fall away to the fire, but Shiro in a similar situation at short.
Yeah, both offers negated by the utility of the opposing team. Good details from NAVI and Spirit. Shiro fires off a shot, position now known. JL, if they peek this, he's got a chance to thin the herd. But B-Hall's controlled by Donk and Magix means Spirit have all the information they need on the map. Fully invested except for Shiro, who's keeping enough money in the bank to afford and not moving forward into the next round.
They ask him to push. They ask Shiro to be active, combining with Donk, who peeks through the lower tunnels. Shiro yet to spot a target. Donk is long gone, but signaling to Ema that he's still close in under, and that fight comes in. It's Ema to fall at the hands of Donk, and now Spirit pounce. NAVI have to go out long A.
That's a bad fight for Ema, I think, in my opinion, just because he's given up so much map control, he's given up so much information and so much positioning, and now, man, if you're NAVI, you got a whole host of Spirit defenders to burn your way through.
You don't get a whole lot of chances to put Spirit out and try and take the series here. So NAVI fighting for map point. They've got to do it in a 4v5. 30 seconds left. Spirit have numbers on the right side of the map. Alexi B goes through that smoke. Zontix to respond with a headshot of his own, and Donk is delivering impact again. Bomb plant coming in. Wonderful and JL trying to do this, but the Danger Man's out of there, and Wonderful cannot step up enough. Spirit will grab map point first.
Yeah, complete map control for Spirit throughout that entire round. They were able to track the movements and know what was happening from start to finish with that upper push. Magix and Donk controlling it. And the kill on IEM just opened up all the avenues to rotate over, get to the A bomb site in time, and that's where Donk unleashes.
NAVI have so much money, there's no problems there. They're going to get a really good buy again.
A hard-fought comeback, getting it close enough to believe it, close enough to have hope that you can close out the map, and Spirit might just rip it away from you at the last second. Full buy for NAVI, though, plenty of cash. Shiro has done a wonderful job maintaining presence with the op down the stretch with economic issues as well.
Smoke blocking tunnels.
NAVI lining up in B-halls this time. Don't want to give free access, free information over to Team Spirit. 4 players going to line up in Upper Dark.
And as Donk and Shiro defending this B-bomb site, a scary prospect to go up against if you're NAVI to try and force overtime. They go into Donk, and it's a double again. They've got Shiro out car, but NAVI's dreams of picking up a 2-0 today against Spirit look like they've just been cast to the side.
Well, let's find out, because Bit's going to challenge. He's not going to wait for his teammates. He wants to start peering in, open up this opportunity. Jigga was mistimed, so Chopper knows what's coming. Oh, drop down, unexpected, but a tough shot to land. And now Alexi's got to pick up the pace.
Trying to burn out Chopper into the fight, but be careful what you wish for. Chopper nails the shot. And we had a question, one single question, after Spirit versus NAVI last week, and that is, what would have happened if we went to a third map? Well, I think it's about time we find out.
They're finding solutions to problems when they pounce up.
And the last time that they played on Nuke was some time ago, back at the spring finals of Blast. It was 13-6 win for Spirit. NAVI obviously hoping for a different result today, and JL, masterful second map in this series. Wasn't enough to get them over the line, but he's going to be charging out into the pistol round up to the buffer bomb side, and it's Magic's going down first. JL's got a second, and the spin back into main was not too far off, collecting a third opening kill here for JL.
Yeah, and Shiro's held it at bay as well. He knows there's one inside the bomb site, peeks out a little bit late, but Bit, that Glock, nice headshot. Donk's going to try his hand next, but Wonderful's holding strong over at Vent.
Yeah, it's tough for Donk to get over the top of Heaven, and his teammate locked in Vent.
Yeah, they've just got nothing to activate Zontix up the Vent, which means Donk has to get kills or else this round is just impossible.
And there's not a whole lot of chances for Donk to be able to do that, so NAVI just buying time, playing disciplined. As long as they don't give him fights, they've won this pistol round just by merely staying alive and letting that bomb go off. So Bit eventually given the opportunity, takes Donk out, and first round is there for NAVI.
Yeah, and once again, it's JL. He was the guy who really spearheading that comeback on Dust2, those 5 rounds straight. He started really heating up, and here in the pistol, Donk gets the opening kill, but JL coming through the smoke is able to snag 2 really strong, impactful frags to open up the bomb site that NAVI takes over and takes the pistol on this T side of Nuke. Nice little luxury for them. So much late utility to activate them through the smoke. Wonderful gets the flash assist, the credit for that, and gives JL a pair of easy openings. Second round bye for Team Spirit. Scout on the hands of Shiro, MP9 for Magic's, pistols for the rest.
Throughout this series so far, we have noted a number of rounds where NAVI have lost against low buys or come close to it. That's a good start. Donk and Zontix combining 2 openers, and NAVI once again in an old familiar position up against weaker weapons.
Oh, and man, JL did get down Vents, but he's not spotted Chopper at Secret. Very fast round from NAVI, and it's not just fast in terms of getting to a position, it's fast in terms of pressing the fight. And getting caught fighting a Scout, a Deagle at single box, and one other pistol outside. Too much chaos for Wonderful and Bit to handle. And JL's being hunted.
He's going to deal with Chopper. Oh, great shot from him. A Patience outside has drawn those kills back. So panic stations can start to drop a little bit here for NAVI, but still a difficult round ahead of them.
This is on Alexi and JL, really, because IMA's going to play for himself. He's so far disconnected, and they don't have the time or the utility to really wait for him to join up, so he's going to turn into the player watching for the vent drop as these smokes get deployed. Actually, He's not going to wait. He's going to move in towards ramp room, watch their flank. Cover behind to make sure they can't get wrapped upon. Bomb being planted down low. Nobody close by for Spirit, and that patient pause in the action did wonders for Na'Vi.
Audibles on the drop down into the vent, but doesn't matter for Team Spirit. They've got to be swift if they want to win this. A retake attempt being set up. Only one piece of utility left. It's Zontix with a flashbang. No kits on either of the remaining players.
That's the round. Back away and try and keep that Galil in the hands of Zontix for the next round, or he commits to a fight and they're going to start moving forward.
Time is the big problem. It's the limiting factor, and all the kills come in, but yeah, not going to be able to win it due to the time. A lot of damage being done, and again, we come back to that talking point I just set up at the start of the round, the fact that Na'Vi have had a number of these rounds against weaker weapons that they either concede or come very close to doing so.
Yeah, really struggle against, but you got to give him credit for the recovery. 3 versus 5 in a round like this. Yeah, Deagle at single box, 5-7 in heaven. There's a scout down low as well. They turned into some really tough fights and almost get destroyed. JL found the escape route that opened up the opportunity from everyone else from Na'Vi, Alexi and Ema to have impact for the rest of the round. I like this decision from Spirit though. Bold and aggressive in a deciding map. You just get all 5 kills even in a round lost. Reinvest. Get right back up in their face. Let them know that no round is going to be easy.
There is a risk involved in this though. If you lose this, the CT economy is going to be pretty shaky. Yes. For the number of the opening rounds of this final map.
But I think it was a man named Dinka who said at the end of map number 2 that usually big risks yield big rewards.
It's true. But also, the opposite is true, Jason. Depends which way you want to look at it. It's all about your worldview. Let's wait and see how it all goes down for Team Spirit. Currently, Zontix going to be holding down inside of ramp room, just jiggling with a grenade in hand.
Lexi going to throw a smoke wall outside, but that's all going to be a fake. Main thrust is going to come towards ramp. Nade goes in a little bit deep, does good damage onto Wonderful, but they have the first step in towards ramp room. The Molotov to provide protection. 2 players have rotated downstairs. That's Chopper and Zontix. I don't think Na'Vi got entirely what they wanted over in ramp room. This is going to be a tough take. They do have a smoke on Wonderful and 2 flashes, but they're going to have to pick and choose which choke points they block off.
Well, Chopper and Zontix already down here looking to defend B. First fight about to go underway, and it's Chopper waiting for Bit to round the corner. Tip of the barrel comes through. Bit lands that headshot. Zontix trying to line them up. It's a double before JL strikes true. 19 seconds left. Imma on the lurk, stopping them from getting down the vent. Finally, Shiro will descend down, and Donk is not done yet. He wants to try and find that kill in lobby.
Yeah, but the longer that Donk waits, the more he sells Shiro out with only 1 player. They know this is a 2-on-2 for some time as Ema's very, very late.
Swing open those double doors. Shiro to a lot of damage, but no kill. Donk has a kit, but no chance as JL will down him and give a 3-0 lead to Na'Vi. So the decision to buy has not paid off for Team Spirit.
No, and you're right. Now they do get the punish side of that exchange where Na'Vi on this T side of Nuke is going to get a nice little economic luxury. Team Spirit going to have to figure out what they want to buy. With the losing bonus building up to 3 rounds, they can put a little bit of money into this. See if they can get another good start with the low buy.
Even if you get a couple of kills here, it's massive, right? Because Na'Vi don't actually have all that much money built up.
Yeah, that's the other side. You've been limiting kind of what kind of a buffer Na'Vi can build for themselves off this streak. It's not anything positive now. That only turns into a positive when you eventually win a round and get the punish. But a clean round from Na'Vi here could negate all of that. Hence the reinvestment.
Bit is on the other side of that smoke as it's revealed. He's not alone. He's got Wonderful. And Team Spirit not doing any damage in this round.
Yeah, Navi's looking sharp. Individuals popping heads very, very swiftly.
You could say the cylinders are firing.
That's what JL wanted. He was looking for it. Ema might get caught. Timing is everything. Looks over. Chopper just can't catch a break. And indeed, all 5 players from Na'Vi still up on the map, which means that economic position that Spirit's been trying to keep them into is going to drift away. They'll have a buffer built up behind them. But Shiro will have his op in the next round. M4s will come out in the next round.
Here comes Magix. Wanting to try and prevent the clean sheet. You know, just one kill's nice. There it is. Oh, God. I like the idea, but, you know, once JL makes that turn, it's definitely better to take the kill on the AK-47. You know how devastating that can be when it gets into the hands of Donk.
I was going to say, this is actually pretty big if Magix can save this. If you're Navi, you probably know where he's gone. You have Bit with an MP9 that you can basically just kind of send out to his death if you really wanted to find him and see if you can trade off that kill, but they're on the other side of the map. They've decided to bail out and let Magix just keep the AK-47. Again, they have those economic issues themselves, so don't want to risk a whole lot on the hunt. So they'll concede the AK-47 over to Team Spirit. Looking at a 4-round lead.
All right, let's bring it back to that Astralis game yesterday with Team Spirit and some of the problems Donk underwent on the CT side. The game plan for Astralis was they know where Donk plays. They know where he likes to be around. They know the plays that he likes to make, and they just seem to have a plan that countered him perfectly.
They attacked him outside, and depending on, like, they caught him at credit a couple of times. Molotovs raining behind it, nades raining behind it. Flashbangs to aggressively activate players to hunt him down. They did the same thing when they caught him playing in Mini, and they made sure that Donk was always under pressure and never with the freedom to be able to pick and choose his battle and where he wanted to go, which was successful in the early going. The problem was everyone else from Team Spirit was destroying him.
That's true. But perhaps Navi will have learned something from that. Maybe we'll take some inspiration from it. But the problem was when Team Spirit shifted to the T side, Donk was unstoppable. That's where he found most of his impact, but Navi so far, so good. 4-0 up on this T side. And Team Spirit get their first real buy rounds here. All out for Shiro. That AK, as predicted, goes into the hands of Donk, and everybody else gets an M4. Opening fight for JL. Oh, that was so close to Chopper being down, but look at this acceleration from Navi. It's quick into the safe bomb site. JL trying to mow down two, and there's no problems for him, but Donk has arrived, and that's certainly a big problem for Navi to have to deal with. That AK-47 safe in the last round is already devastating the attack for Navi, and Wonderful's got a 1v3 ahead of him, and Shiro's got his exit.
Really dangerous timing hit, and so aggressive. But Chopper just lived way too long. And that's kind of what I'm talking about when I mentioned Astralis made sure Donk couldn't just roam around the map and pick and choose his fights. You see here, he's got space. He knows his teammates have his opposition occupied, swinging through that smoke. Nobody's got eyes on him. Nobody can contain him. Good kill from JL, but this one just took way too long to come in. Tough scenario for JL. They never even spotted Zontix up in the rafters.
Buy still good for Navi. They'll still have all the AKs out, all the utility they can want. We mentioned the damage that Spirit were able to inflict upon the T-side economy in the early stages of this map. Despite not winning rounds, it has kept Navi somewhat modest. So if they lose this round, the T-side money is drained. And so then Spirit will have a chance to start to build these CTs.
Smoke wall being put up. The waterfall and two connecting smokes. Chopper down in secret already. It's Ima outside alone. Bits up on top of Silo to help protect. They'll get Ima into an advanced position, and it looks like most of the attention is going to be towards the upper bomb site with Ima sliding in through the smokes.
Here comes Ima, 55 seconds, and that's it. That's Donk easily dealing with the first headshot. Bits coming in behind him though. Donk is distracted about the rest that are coming in towards the upper bomb site, and Navi have time. There's some space, but Magix looks to try and close that. Great work from the back of the bomb site. Navi uncomfortable. They're still stuck at door.
They can't drop down vents. They know Chopper's down there as well. They have nowhere to go.
They're going to get pushed from Shiro. They are getting suffocated by Team Spirit. 30 seconds left. Bit was making the play at heaven, and that was their last chance. Now it's all Alexi B, and he gets double dinked by Magix, who closes the door. Navi's money drains, and Team Spirit with a second in a row.
But if you're Alexi B, you're saying, all right, guys, it's not all lost. I know what's going on. I know what they're running. You've now done this upper bomb site emphasis for the opening stage of this half, and you've now kind of discovered a number of times Team Spirit playing one ramp, Donk and Mini are outside, and then three in the upper bomb site. Three-man defense in that upper bomb site that Navi has run into a number of times. So that's information for Alexi B to use moving forward. Have to give it some thought during this round with pistols and Tech 9s. But the information is there for him to make adaptations, and that's something that Navi have shown they've been very, very good at today.
Zontix is going to hear the pitter-patter of steps as Navi charge down into the ramp room. Shiro coming to try and plug this gap and support him, and there's no problem for his sniper. He's got the rifle alongside of him. And nice from Donk on the final lineup.
Yeah, sees that op getting picked up. He knows he's going to be holding the angle. Pre-fires around that corner. Beautiful from Donk coming in to save the day. And he's being very, very mobile. He's not being shy about sprinting to the action. He wants to get stuck in. 8 kills for Donk so far in the map. Tied with JL on the other side of the server.
Yeah, very different CT side from Donk today than what we got to see against Astralis on Nuke.
Yeah, he doesn't want to play another game where he's pinned down. Shiro knows one's up on Silo.
Looking for that fight.
Yeah.
Not going to be given to him.
Bit doesn't really want it either against the op. Smoke broken open.
That's
Ema,
close.
yeah, lucky to be alive. Deploys one of the smokes for the outside wall.
Here comes Chopper over towards Seeker. He's about to get molly, but he got beyond it. Oh, he pushes himself up towards the top of the stairs. Ema looking to try and clear him out, but being spammed down through the red box. Some supportive fire here for Chopper. He's going to have a 1v1 fight. Great flashbang in from Bit.
Yeah, Ema must have heard the tick of the Molotov. He seemed very aware of that reposition. Chopper trying to get away with one. Shiro spots the player jumping up, but didn't have a clean shot at it, so Bit's going to force him off the angle, but Shiro still steps up. He knows the smokes have expired, and look at the utility for Navi for the rest of this round. You've got Ema over in secret, but you don't have the utility to connect with him. I think this is going to end with Navi just walking out Squeak Door, but now that it's smoked, I got no idea what they want to do from here.
Magix, does he look the right way at the right time? He makes a step, alerting them to his position, but they come in, and his reactions are so fast, but it's just one. Fortunately for Magix, there's so much firepower elsewhere, and Team Spirit will not topple to the Navi attack. Donk is on the prowl. He is dominating them from the CT side, and Navi are incapable of figuring it out yet.
Honestly, if you look at the disparity between this game so far from Navi and the Astralis game yesterday, you can kind of see the difference in philosophy, right? Like, Donk just running around is just causing so many issues. He is everywhere at the moment. He's in the upper bomb site in the late round. In mini, disrupting your faster-paced attacks. He's rotating over to ramp room very quickly.
Is this the same AK Magix got off jail?
I believe so.
Yeah, that's a big difference maker.
Or he dropped that to pick up an op and someone else picked up a... Well, either way, it doesn't matter. He's at an AK for about 3 or 4 rounds now.
JL got down vent. We'll see what he's able to do with it and what Navi are capable of pulling off with him getting that early position. Now they decide to push, and look at that. Great accuracy on the spam from Chopper. Ima's going to be frustrated. Navi losing the opening player. But they'll still stay committed to their goal of getting players down secret to try and join up with JL, who's at the bottom of the vent.
But let's go back to this. A constant conversation on Nuke. The luxury of winning the first 4 rounds on the T side is you always know the T side can get very difficult and very frustrating. You have to come into this map with a very strong mental and understanding that you're going to be stressed. But you have the luxury of really only having to scrape together or cheese 1, maybe 2 rounds. Don't have to put together a complete dominant TF, but you're running out of opportunities to get that 1 or 2 more on the board. Round 10, and it's 5-4 in the favor of Team Spirit, rattling off 5 in a row to gain the lead.
I think Hallie is going to be very happy when the start of the CT side from his squad. Blade was perhaps happy with the start, but certainly not what he's seeing right now. But you mentioned that Alexi was able to sort of figure out the defenses.
Alexi, bro, I really want you to step up. Really, it's very important. I said outside, very important things. And I want you just to focus on this. Please, I'm begging you.
Oh.
All right.
He's begging.
Yeah, that's
Step up, Alexi.
Seemed very, very earnest about that. Well, he said focus on outside, it's important. Well, so is Lobby in this round because a four-man crunch, I should say, and Shiro waiting outside to take down Bit as he falls, and now Spirit have got some swagger to this defense, and they are dictating where Na'Vi can play.
IEM going through the smokes, the corridor of cover, but his teammates are all falling, so it's really important that IEM gets more than this. And he's not able to. It's silence again from Na'Vi on the T side here. Alexi has to step up. He's got the headshot on Shiro, getting tagged down through the smoke.
It's weird though, like, let's not read too deep into that. That could mean so many things. That could mean,
of course,
I want your focus as an IGL to be calling tactics to take outside more. I want that to be a team emphasis strategically. It could mean I want you personally to be outside more frequently with IEM backing him up. There's a lot of different things, a lot of different meanings that could be behind that from Blade.
Now perhaps we can get a follow-up on that after the game, but for now, Alexi, 40 seconds left. 3 more targets to find here for Team Spirit. He's going to get another one here. Gives away his position, though. They know where Alexi B now is. And so Magix and Chopper can both focus on him, and Chopper is the only one required.
That's unlucky. Alexi's going to watch this VOD back and be like, oh, I was dead no matter what, going ramp room.
So it was 4 rounds in a row for Na'Vi, 4-0 to now 6-4 behind. That's not pretty.
No, it's not ideal, but again, it's one of those factors of Nuke.
Does not look like it's going to get any better in a round like this, though. You've got 1 AK in the hands of IEM, the rest on pistols.
Yeah, but the thing is, now you're getting a Spirit that's really motivated to be disruptive, right? That lobby crunch is such a signal. Psychological warfare.
All on pistols apart from Bit, I suppose, outside of that AK. And they're gonna start playing through the smoke, and in a round like this, you gotta take a risk. And Bit's gonna be the man at the front. Good dink, and finished off by Wonderful.
Okay, now you've got something to work with. You've got IEM crossing, you've got ramp room control. This is actually looking really, really nice. How much does IEM press? They're gonna be wrapping behind him. No one drops Fent. 3 players of Secret outside. At least 2 of them with the rifles are gonna be flanking down Secret. So IEM, you better have a 6th sense, and it doesn't look likely.
You're never expecting Chopper to arrive on this flank so quickly. IEM goes down, and one of the pieces that Na'Vi could have built on is gone, and it just gets worse.
But this is what I mean when I say Spirit has some swagger. They're not sitting back and letting Na'Vi's attack come to them. They're being proactive. And Chopper's taking the information he gained, taking some risks, flanking around Secret, making sure that nothing truly gets started for Na'Vi's offense. 7 rounds in a row for Team Spirit.
You know, it's not been a great half for Na'Vi outside of those first 4 rounds, but if they win this last round, 5 rounds T-side.
Oh, you take that,
oh,
for
yeah,
sure.
You take that absolutely to the bank.
Plenty of guns left over
yeah,
in spawn.
If anyone, how much money they got.
If anyone from Spirit ever happens to fall back to that position, they got plenty of weaponry to choose from. Utility outside, Bit up on the silo.
Disruption of the smokes outside. Donk does not see anybody on the other side of them. Couple more erected for that Na'Vi cross if they decide they want to move with it. It has been IEM primarily who's been getting towards Secret for Na'Vi. This time he does not want to go towards Secret, but instead, just outside of main, he's got Bit on top of the roof. Executed towards the upper bomb site coming in.
Yeah, while they're shuffling nades, now all of a sudden this defense is a little bit weakened. It's stuck up in heaven, stuck inside the bomb site, and it's a disaster so far.
Alexi B now wrapping around the backside, but it's JL's that's got that kill. Na'Vi looking for 5 rounds from 4 in a row to kick this half off, to round out with 1 extra at the end. Would not be bad at all here for Na'Vi. They've got a 4v3 to try and put an end to the 7-round streak for Spirit. Shiro gets caught. Bit was so patient at the top of main. Chopper getting spotted in the vent. And it's Zontic's left 1v4. we will head into the last half of this series between last year's two major champions battling for a spot in the Spodek, and it's Spirit that currently lead the way. We'll see if they return to the playoffs of Katowice in just a little bit.
Spirit not ready to relinquish their dominance over NAVI. 6-1 in series play over the past year. But this one's for everything. This one's for the playoffs inside of the Spodek, and NAVI have got a real chance at bringing it right back on defense.
Hey, could be 7-1, Jason. That could be the reality we live in.
I could have just looked into the future.
Yeah, maybe. Well, JL has said that almost every single time it ends in heartbreaking loss, and to be so close to winning the series 2-0 on Dust2, to lose in this fashion on Nuke, well, that certainly would meet the category of heartbreaking.
Well, Donk outside, 3 players in lobby. Shiro, Zontix, Magix, and now Chopper all leaning towards ramp room. Donk with his P250, looking for a fight.
Of course he is. That's what he's here for.
JL's tucked in behind the box in ramp room. They're going to try and sell this with Bit. Oh, that's a nice first kill.
Yeah, it's great. And JL's still behind that big box, so hasn't necessarily revealed his position just yet. And now they're just jumping down. He has not taken a shot, finally. Able to get one off. The Lexipi's already at the back of the site. Donk doing some damage, and the P250s come back in. Another opportunity for him, but eventually taken out by Bit, leaving Magics fighting on two fronts. Whew, that was definitely all over the show, but Navi pick up the pistol.
It's that Donk effect where you just feel like he's building into that and almost able to stop the round before it begins. It looked like they were going to get flanked out regardless, but a very nice pistol round from Navi, topped off by some very nice shots. Bit opens it up, JL a good lurk position. That's both pistols now, won by Navi, so two good starts to the half. We'll see how good this one is.
Now, first half was 4 in a row.
This round should be just fine. Spirit playing for the third with rifles, unarmored pistols picked up. Ema sliding down vent to move towards Secret. Alexi gonna hold the cross from Mini while Wonderful peers at it from Heaven. Giving time and safety to Ema to get into position.
FAMAS looks good for Alexi. A double kill as Magic snips away with one on the Glock, and that seems to be the only kill that Spirit will pick up in this round. Scoreline is all tied up. Yeah, strong starts in both halves here from Navi, but the buy is coming right up here for Team Spirit. So AK's coming out on everybody. Sure, not able to afford the AWP just yet. Actually decides to go to the Galil so they can get a bit more utility. Navi missed out in the playoffs last year in Kato. They lost to Falcons in the lower bracket. Last chance. Donk prowling outside.
Man, that Falcons run really was short-lived. Good flash. Alexi doesn't take the complete corner. Donk might have been in some trouble. It's, baby, Chopper through the smoke twice. It breaks open. And Chopper takes complete advantage.
I mean, we've all been talking about how Chopper's been playing better this year. 2025 seems to be Chopper's year so far.
Starting out well, isn't it?
Yeah, he's looking great with that. Breathing well, shooting well. It's exactly what you want from Chopper.
The Chopper breathing strip is the new Twist bubblegum.
Yeah, it is. Maybe he'll get a sponsorship now. With Chopper on the climb up. 1 minute left on the clock. Bit just below him. Chopper didn't see him. Did not see him at all.
Well, now they know
he's taking Shiro out, so they know that he's there. Chopper's just waiting for his time to strike, and he needs to strike because his teammates... Oh, the grenade is huge, and that's low HP. Blasted away. Chopper gone to his Donk and Zontix. And this duo can be deadly when they work together, and they're still standing. Donk's kill evens out the numbers, and it's bitten him trying to make this happen. They try and get back into it for Navi, but Zontix has the idea, the right idea as well on Imma, just spotted by Donk. Steps heard. Zontix yet to reveal how close he is. Great reposition for Imma to get in behind the cover at red. He goes into the open. He just spotted. Zontix is going to track him down, but Zontix has the kill, and it's all on Bit, and he's back at Secret Door. 18 seconds left. They've got to sprint and get that bomb and try and get into the site. Bit could delay this. He could disrupt this. He could win this. As he holds back from Secret, they cross over, and good damage initially. He quickly repositions, but Donk is aware of that, and he'll start planting it. Zontix covers him off, and this duo is so deadly, and the team play on point.
The kill on Chopper up in Heaven might have sold him out a little bit. They might not have known the Donk was up there with him. Might have thought that nade cleared it out. Tough round for Navi. They almost battle back into it. That's a 3v5. Almost converted from Navi. Look at this smoke break. Joke's on you. I wanted you to break the smoke open. Eventually cleaned up, but Donk just such a force. And with the high ground, he's able to have impact all over the map.
You can see how frustrating that kind of round loss is for Alexi B. Knowing how difficult the closing of Nuke is going to be.
Oh, and you don't want to get reset here this early on. You don't, on the CT side, want to have to battle back as the losing bonus grows, as you struggle to have enough Molotovs and smokes to contain the opposition. Such an important round here for Navi and Ema. Oh, what a risk. What a risk, and he's found Chopper. Fights to his death, it comes quick, but JL also pressuring Hunt through lobby. So does Bit, but misses his fight, and now Donk is activated out the squeak door.
JL just hiding in behind Tetris. Donk is being patient. He knows he's got time to play with.
The molly didn't spread to tick Alexi B, so they might not realize he's in this position. Now they do.
Yeah, he's helped out with that, but actually it works out really well because it baits Donk into trying to get rid of Alexi, and that reveals his position. JL then peeks out, upgrades into the AK.
Wonderful over in ramp room still. JL's going to get on top of the hut. Navi's got to let that smoke fade, or excuse me, Spirit's got to let that smoke fade so that 2 choke points are an issue for the defense in upper.
Only 35 seconds remaining here for Team Spirit. They were able to flip a 2v3 back in their favor in the last round. Zaltex was a part of that with Donk.
You know JL's in the upper bomb side. He loves that top hut position.
Here comes Wonderful. Gets his gun out in time. Shiro backs into him, and they know the idea. 20 seconds. Zaltex leaps in towards the site, and JL repositioned to the top hut. Will close the round out for NAVI.
Yeah, hard-fought round, but you're exactly right. That little bait onto Donk, the Alexi B noise. He finds his target like a heat-seeking missile, but JL's been lying in wait the whole time. I think he heard footsteps of Donk getting to squeak vent earlier and was just chilling. Was just waiting for the moment to pounce. Great round from NAVI overall. And a timeout taken from Team Spirit so Hallie can get involved in the conversation. Even with the trophy a couple weeks ago in Copenhagen, Spirit's still plenty of conversation about how important the coach is behind him, treating him as a 6th player that has huge impact for this team. NAVI 8, Spirit 8, winner to the playoffs of IEM Katowice inside the Spodek, the legendary Spodek. Loser drops down to play Team Liquid for elimination.
This is Bit's box. He's just gonna hide behind it.
What's in Bit's box?
Usually headshots. Just body shots for this one. Bit dispersion of utility. His teammate's gone down. Oh god, it's now a little bit... Oh, it's a little bit scary now for NAVI as Shiro's D-goal rips right through Bit.
JL cannot push. He needs to contain. And with a minute on the clock, I think he's well aware of his priorities.
Alexi now coming up towards Heaven.
But these are hiccups that NAVI survived on Mirage, the opening map. I don't know how many more you're going to get. Good kill from Alexi. Survival is paramount.
Takes a lot of damage, sure. But that distraction, JL senses it as the timing to move. Oh, Shiro just spots JL, but JL's able to react accurately and swiftly enough. And he's going to go again, but overwhelmed this time by Magix. It's now a 2v2. And NAVI, can they survive this? Can they pull this off? Alexi B looks up towards Heaven. Donk and Magix over the top. Donk's so quick to it. Imma left alone on the lower bomb site. And Spirit are now in control of this.
NAVI are going to be kicking themselves if they lose this round. If Imma is not a hero, NAVI's going to be so frustrated.
They need a hero, and he flies up the vent, but they know exactly where he is. And how can you get out of this if you're Imma? How can you even think about a world in which you get out of it? Donk will not let him, and it's 9 rounds now for Team Spirit. They take the lead, and that kind of round can break NAVI's backs.
That's got to be a miscommunication. That's got a misunderstanding at the very least, and you can see Blade almost seems frustrated as he gestures with his hand and talks into the mic. A timeout taken, and he's just saying there's some level of communication. Either it's not... Like, the idea that Bit's playing behind that box, the whole team should know that. And the realization that they can cross over to Heaven relatively easily from that position, that's the missing piece of communication that didn't get there. It was Wonderful picked off, I believe, under Heaven. Oh, that's a nasty shot on top of it. So is that, but man.
But if Wonderful knows that's a possibility, I don't think he's running knife out there, right?
Start to finish, I think this round is going to be really, really frustrating for NAVI to watch back.
Well, they need to be firing at all cylinders right now, misfiring.
Economically backbreaking. Look at the situation NAVI's in now.
Yeah, against Team Spirit, you can't afford to have rounds like that. Bit going through the smoke into trophy room. A play that does not pay off. Shiro and Donk. Already down Secret. 5v4 to convert upon for double figures here for Spirit, and it's certainly the right step in the right direction, kicking things off with a kill on Bit.
Who's going to provide the miracle that Navi needs? Everyone's shifting outside. Lobby is wide open. Alexi and Wonderful boosting up over in ramp room so that one of the two players there can get mobile. 53 seconds for Chopper and Spirit to play with. He sees nothing outside. They've got some space over in Secret. And maybe the timing of this utility outside is going to be confusing to Navi because they're close to attacking the lower site.
Alexi sees Zontex going down Secret. Imma's trying to sprint down here to make a big impact, and they're not going to get the miracle they're asking for from his Deagle.
And now I fear JL, Wonderful, and Alexi who try and save. Magix has already cut one off from behind.
Yeah.
These weapons are critical, though, because there's really not going to be much to battle with in the next. So Spirit's going to get to double digits, and they're going to have a huge economic lead over Navi. And the money issues for Navi on the CT side means Spirit's playbook is wide open. Fast towards the upper bomb site if you want it. Slow down, bleed them of utility of Molotovs and smokes throughout the round.
Team Spirit yet to lose a series this year. They've only lost 2 maps, one of which in this series. And the other in the best of 5 grand final against Eternal Fire a week ago. It's completely on Navi to try and find the way back into this, and as you mentioned, there's just no money to do it. So 11 rounds for Team Spirit is the most likely outcome of the next minute and 55 seconds. And it's quick for Donk. He's already behind red. It's only 1 smoke down yet. The second's coming in now, so Donk makes the intelligent move to pause and knock him into the open, and now they can cross down Secret.
I mean, I think they just feel like they have so much safety with this kind of a round to cross behind these smokes. There's not going to be enough money to buy all the grenades you want if you want to break it. Obviously, they know it's going to be a low buy, rough buy situation for Navi's defense.
Well, Magix is the only one that is fully spotted, and he tries to fight out towards Heaven. Although Alexi B's already rotated down the vent. He's got JL with him, and the MP9s need to combine for something special here, and Donk just jumps up into the Alexi B headshot. Okay.
It was something special, just the wrong way.
Yeah, true.
All right, well, 11-8, 3-round lead for Team Spirit, but finally in round 20, Navi is going to have the money to truly fight back. I think the piece they'll be missing the most is the AWP on Wonderful. That's going to have to wait to come out. We haven't seen it in the second half. He hasn't had the luxury of the weapon. But overall, a similar start to the first half in reverse, where the T side puts 4 rounds on the board before the CT side has the money to fight back.
Donk just wants to kill everything, including his own teammates.
23 kills on Donk in this deciding map, 104 ADR. Absolute monster performance. To push Team Spirit through to the playoffs, needs 2 more rounds. Timeout taken, second one.
I'm surprised they still have 2 left, but they're gonna need them.
Yeah, it is a nice luxury for Blade to have 2 timeouts left this late. So called here, and then if it maintains closer, he can call another one later. Alexi just goes for that swing right as the barrel's about to show. Might have been able to wait for the kill.
This does feel like the last chance for Navi, though. Like, they lose this round, Team Spirit will be on their merry way to collecting a Nuke victory. The last time they played Nuke against one another was back in June. It was a 13-6 victory for Team Spirit. Slightly improved for Navi so far.
Well, JL's dreams of revenge come down to this round number 20. 11-8 for Spirit. Navi need a stop desperately. Once again, that smoke wall outside, Chopper's gonna cross, and once again, Navi still limited by their money, don't have any HEs to break it open and gather information. So it's IEM positioned here with Wonderful boosted up over in ramp room. This could be perfect if Bit can provide some kind of bait.
Can he though? He's dropped down. Oh, great work from Wonderful. Gets back to all three. And Mr. Wonderful gives them the business. It's now Chopper left on the lower site. And Navi, they needed that. And it's, well, it's done in a great fashion.
It's better than you could even ask for. All 5 players survived. They don't have to rebuy anything, just utility. All of a sudden, that economy is looking strong for Navi. Well done from Wonderful up on top of the boxes. And now just 2 rounds back. Bit didn't even have to provide the distraction. Wonderful just deletes everyone, spinning back and forth. Absolutely perfect. And the dream lives on for Navi.
After how close they were to defeating them in a 2-0 fashion on Dust2, coming down to the final rounds of regulation. Navi do not want to go down without a fight here on Nuke, and they've given themselves life. Oh, smoke's going outside. The executor's in. And the wall of smoke's erected.
Yeah, but now there's nades. Now you can break them open. So Alexi breaks one. They spot nobody crossing quite yet. Another one coming in. Alexi wants to fight on this one. Bit more than he wanted. Donk and Shiro both out in the open. And Donk dodges all the bullets through the smoke as he crosses to secret yet again. Yeah. Spirit putting a lot of pressure on this lower bomb site.
He's got Shiro in behind him. Donk's not alone.
And IEM's no longer down here. This is the big difference right now for Navi, is usually they've had IEM slid down into that position, but not this time.
Oh, Wonderful making the difference again, though, drawing this back to even numbers. 4v4. Zontix, oh, look at him. He slipped out of the hut. He slipped into the upper bomb site. JL just about sees him, and a little bit awkward as he was jumping up on the Tetris box.
Chopper's crossing with the bomb, and he's all on his own. Donk and Shiro are pressuring Secret. They're down around vents.
No
one's
watching.
Spotted.
Wonderful's the only player that could see it here, and he's not going to peek. So Chopper gets down Secret.
Well, Bit has the biggest job to do. Nobody else is close by. Has to nail that kill.
Razor. Slices open Shiro, goes back to it, but Donk is rapid to trade kill back. 27 seconds. IEM now arriving. Bomb is down in the vent, and Donk, he's got a 1v3 with 22 seconds, and they know who they're up against. They do not want to give him a chance. Not a single slither of hope. As Donk gets into the vent, it's another headshot. Running away, giving him space, though. Donk again! Can you stop him? Finally, JL will put him in the ground.
Hey, it's like everyone gets nervous when he's the one in the 1v3 when he gets that first kill. Navi, with time running off the clock, didn't have to be that aggressive on the fight. He still has to make his way into the site and plant, and Navi giving him every opportunity to win this clutch. He almost puts it together.
There's this sense of aura when he's in the clutches that they just give him a newfound respect. They know what he's capable of pulling off, and when you're down 10 seconds, you have 2 players together, they start to fall back, they start to run away. They give him opportunities, and Donk's so close to pulling off the devastating final blow, but it's 11-10, and Navi stay in this fight.
Stay in this fight, they put themselves in a good position. For the first time, we see Wonderful with the AWP just as his rifle started heating up as well, because he's been a badass with the M4 and AK. But look at the consequences of 2 rounds in a row for Navi. All of a sudden, it's turned. It's Spirit, whose economy is at the breaking point if they can't win this. And again, that smoke wall, but this time it looks like they want to turn into it. They show the same secret progression they've done a number of times. It pulls 2 players, Bit and IEM, downstairs. But feels more likely at the moment that Spirit is eyeing an end, a finish at the A bomb site. Donk being used as a distraction to see if he can get a kill. Keep these 2 defenders in position.
Making noise, confidently patrolling the lower bomb site. No peek from IEM. Bit taking the initial attention. Donk is going to run past those vents. 29 seconds. That's all that's left in this round. Donk dealt with on the lower bomb site by Bit.
And now what do you do?
Last-ditch effort with 20 seconds. JL and Alexi B look to combine, but JL, he's missed it. He's fluffed his lines, and now Alexi B steps up instead, but Magix has collapsed upon him. And with 10 seconds, Bomb needs to go down, and Zontix is the man to punch those digits in.
Bits on a flank through the lobby right now. Magix needs to get into a good position. Zontix is well out in the open for the moment, so transitioning, and this is a moment of weakness, but once Zontix finds position at the vent, he's all good.
Magic's just waiting for that heaven peak. He knows eventually that it's going to come. Zontix and CT vent. When does Bit make his play forward? He's making noise now. They're running out of time. They're running out of hope. This is for series point, qualification point, and that's exactly what Spirit have got. Zontix knocks down 2, and Spirit on the brink of defeating NAVI for the 7th time in a year.
For how good he is in crunch moments, this one is whiffed by JL. He's typically stepped up so big for NAVI, but he needed production here.
And Blade can't watch. He turns around. He looks away because that round is so damn close.
Look, we know Blade's not a coach to mince his words, and I think he's going to have plenty of them after this game, and this is going to be another series. JL mentioned all the losses to Spirit are in such heartbreaking fashion. This is going to be another one that delivers that heartbreak because it's been mistakes from NAVI that have been their undoing at critical moments.
And this is the kind of buy NAVI have coming into the last round, or possible last round. M4A4 in the hands of Bit. MP9's on 2, Deagle 5-7. Spirit in control.
NAVI has had a number of these similar kinds of low buys throughout this half, and they haven't been able to win any of them.
Donk is about to get 30 kills as well if he can get 3K in this round and round things out.
And Spirit's happy to stay grouped up. Nobody outside, nobody overextending on their own, letting this utility run out for the NAVI defense.
JL, eat shrapnel. Execution in. Is this the final move that qualifies Spirit into the Spodek? The push into lobby is fantastic here for NAVI. Alexi B's 5-7 double kill out of nowhere. Some life in them yet, but Magic's finally downed by JL. And Shiro is not near the fight. So NAVI do not die. They do not give up. And they are still in this series.
Incredible. Well done from Alexi. Using Spirit's own execute against them, hiding around the edge of the smoke, waiting for their push. And NAVI miraculously survive yet again. 12-11. Shiro saves the AK-47. Money's going to be just fine for Spirit. They'll have a very strong buy in the next round. And it all comes down to the last one. Round 24. I think Blade still has that timeout if he wants to use it. But Alexi doing such good work. Where they haven't had that spark in these low buy rounds, he provides it with the 5-7. Final round, overtime or Spirit in the Spodek.
2 Galils, 2 Tech 9s, but most importantly, an AK-47 in the hands of Donk. And he's going to wield it to success. Alexi B 1-for-1 outside.
They'll be okay with that. Donk is brought down low. It's unconfirmed damage, but they're going to love it later up when they realize how softened up he was. And Spirit's going to back away from outside. This time there's no smoke wall to confuse NAVI's defense to make them nervous about Secret in the lower bomb site.
NAVI just missed out on overtime on Dust2.
1 smoke, 2 Molotovs remaining for Team Spirit for the rest of this round.
They have the better weapons.
IEM's going on a mission. Actually, the timing of this is pretty nice. If he continues to push towards Secret, I don't necessarily think he will because they don't have information. They don't know if anyone could have crossed already, so IEM's got to be careful.
Donk has gone to the Tech 9. He's given the AK on over to Magix instead. Bit moving through lobby into the trophy room.
Yeah, which sounds great, except for the fact that Donk's so low on HP that look how passively he's playing it. They might just stumble right into a Tech 9 headshot.
Well, if he can get one. If he can just get the one. But he's aggressive. Of course he's aggressive. He goes around that corner. Donk to go down. And NAVI 4-3 up and players to try and close this into overtime.
And meanwhile, IEM's had all the time in the world to find himself the perfect position. He gets to pick this himself and just chill. While the rest of his teammates are being proactive, he's the one meant to be the safety net at the lower bomb site. They do have Wonderful and a quick rotation from ramp room.
Surely NAVI can't let this one go. Sees the shadow, seizes the chance. Imma to dive out the window. Good opportunity for Magics, but not taking it. Imma shutting them down, and it's all over here. We've got a bonus round coming right up. NAVI do not give up. They do not give in, and they want that win versus Spirit today.
Yeah, bend but don't break, and they bended a lot in that half. Mistakes in a really tough economy, but look at the grit to survive all of those obstacles. And a timeout used by Spirit heading into OT. Conversation being had just to get yourself some rounds on this T-side half in overtime.
Just think how we got here for NAVI as well. You know, you had Alexi B with a 5-7 trying to repel an attack into the upper bomb site with weapons, and he gets a double little lineup with that 5-7 that gives them hope. And they pull it back. Blake gonna make use of this time. I'm sure he has lots to say. Not a lot of time to say it though. But imagine if Donk is more passive in that situation as you were setting up.
Yeah, maybe. He's trying to find a timing to be involved in the late round as well. But yeah, I don't necessarily know what was the right play. I thought maybe they might just walk right around into him, but that's just well orchestrated from NAVI. They even had JL kind of crunching from Hut as well. Wow. So really good play when you're sitting around as NAVI and you're like, we actually don't know what's happening on the map, so let's go find out. Imma in a safe place, everyone else mobile. But now we get in this first round of overtime, money issues disappear. And money issues have dictated a lot for both of these teams.
And we throw those money questions out of the window. Buy after buy for the two top teams in the world, going blow for blow here in overtime. Third map decider, qualification for the playoffs. Outside smokes erected here once again. And Donk is going to move in behind them.
Wonderful had a couple critical misses with the AWP towards the tail end of Dust2. Oh, that's Donk willingly taking the tick of damage. Okay, so information passed over. Another miss from Wonderful. Quick jiggle from Chopper. Tough shot to hit. Gets into a new position. Chopper's already crossed over. They heard the tick of the Molotov, so they realize Secret has already been taken.
Did he want to try and draw the ramp player down, perhaps? But Bit still occupied, dealing with the forces that are coming towards him.
Yeah, but Spirit is really constricting around this defense. They're forcing it to tunnel up, to like turtle up inside the bomb sites. They have a lot of real estate to work with. You have outside, you have Secret, you have ramp room. There's very narrow margins for this NAVI defense to move.
And Bit's gonna take this fight. There's two players coming towards him, Magix and Zontix. There's a third a little bit further away. Good damage on the second player. He'll spot the bomb and Presence coming towards him, but with 30 seconds left, remember Donk is down here. Imma's gonna swing open decon, bomb down, second kill's fantastic on that flick up to Chopper. And with 20 seconds, Shiro has to pick up the bomb, and what a shot! Incredible reactions from Shiro, and now it's the two heaviest hitters for Spirit to try and close this out. 2v4 total. Wonderful coming back through ramp. Donk is not one to shy away from a fight. He was peeking towards the ramp, but now sits in the corner, letting Shiro be his information gatherer.
Smoke nade.
Oh, Shiro flick up to Alexi. Donk's gone, so it's all Shiro. Shiro to be the hero. He's got the angle, but this is not the best weapon, and that grenade bounces back upon him, but it still works. Oh, it still works! And Shiro with the heroics with the AWP. Donk goes down, but Shiro's enough.
Oh, JL panicked so hard with that nade sound coming in, and you can understand why. About to be exposed, and Shiro, a little bit of luck goes his way. A heartbreaking clutch as NAVI worked hard to get back into the round. What a round put together. Excuse me, JL take it out earlier.
Dude, that flick is so sick too. And I thought the grenade was going to cost him. I thought he was about to get absolutely wrecked by the geometry.
It just blew open enough of the front of the smoke to spot Imma running around trying to find the bomb.
And I'm sure NAVI can't believe that they didn't kill him. That one of them wasn't able to get rid of the AWP. Zontix waiting, Bit walking towards him. Easy collection.
Secret has been available this whole half. NAVI have been very chill about how they're defending it. Early on, it was because of economy and not having the resources. But clearly, they're more than happy to allow for that passage trusting IEM to do work down in secret as a defender.
Gaps out of the smoke.
Oh,
this
man.
shot from Wonderful. Oh, that looked dead on. It looked like he was going to nail that.
That's got to be so frustrating. Again, critical misses down the stretch when it's most important.
Zontic slips out. How has he got by? That's a question Alexi B will be asking, but JL making up for it. Double off the top of the hut. IEM arriving up the vent, and it's all on Donk again. 26 seconds this time. And he peeks into the open. Damage done to the upper. Both taken down low, but Donk not this time.
Yeah, but you're given a little bit of a gift if you're Wonderful, not to throw it all at him, but some misses that you don't normally see. His teammates bailed him out this round. That's not going to happen every single time. Let's see what the AWP can do moving forward. But there's still those miscues that we're seeing out of NAVI. Much like Bit kind of letting Wonderful die in heaven, like at the end of regulation. Now you have Zontic sliding out wider than Alexi B expects. Good shot there from Wonderful. But it's IEM jumping up the vent that saves the day.
Last week's match was a teaser.
Alexi's actually positioned himself in secret to try and stop any kind of the plays that Spirit have been making, but it's the wrong time for it. Spirit's going to go upper.
LJL again, double from top hut. Magix and Donk littered on the floor. And for Spirit, they're in a 3v5. Good kill from Zontic to take JL off the top of the hut. Eventually, IEM spamming him down. And Team Spirit left 2v4.
Yeah, ramp's wide open, so Chopper's going to take advantage of it, makes the footsteps. Alexi B slides over to grab intel through the walls. Here's the noises, calling his teammates to rotate downstairs. First two are going to be Wonderful and IEM.
Wonderful's going to play out towards Decon. Well, they felt the wrath of Shiro in the previous round. They know what can happen in these disadvantageous situations for Spirit. They're so capable of pulling them back, and once again, from a 2v4 to a 2v2, IEM and Bit having to come back and make up for it. Missed shot from Shiro. Chopper waits, like shot in, and the lineup's there, and JL looks on as his teammates this time pick it up.
Look what it means to him as well. What a tough retake to do with a 2v2. Shiro almost rips their heart out again at the end of it. But man, no utility, taking risks, jumping for the leg shot and just battling every inch. 14-13, these teams do not go out quietly. And we switch sides. Yeah, we're all with you there.
Yeah, we're definitely all along for that journey.
This is a timeout from Blade, his overtime timeout being burned here. It might actually be his third one from regulation. I don't know if he actually ever ended up using it, but
I think it was Holly's initially came in.
Either way, Blade's getting a chance to talk to the boys as they switch sides. We heard that towards the end of regulation, mentioning to Alexi B to focus towards outside. Let's see if the game plan changes at all. NAVI won the first 4 in regulation on their T side, lost 7 in a row, and grabbed the last one.
It truly would be a heartbreaking loss for NAVI. Smokes out very quickly. And NAVI have 2 players already at red. It's Alexi B and IEM. And then around those smokes, and IEM's going to go down towards secret. Shiro is currently over in this area. Remember, in regulation, Donk was so active, such a nuisance on the CT side. He was all over the show. NAVI couldn't figure out the enigma of dealing with him.
Happy to have Bit in this position at secret. Or IEM, excuse me. Bit close up towards Mini. That Molotov doing tons of damage over to Magix, and now Bit slides into attack for Mini. All Spirit's defense in trouble. They got a hold. It's a tough hold, but Magix and Chopper step up.
Yeah, good start here for Team Spirit. Alexi is going to try and fight back. Draws it within a one-man advantage, and it just comes back. Rolling for Navi. Chopper out through CT Vent. A single kill is not enough. Alexi B with a triple as he does step up, leaving Zontix 1v2.
Yeah, he's just so nervous, though. He doesn't know where the other players are. Looks like they want to bail out. There's a timing. If Zontix peeks, might catch him in transition over towards Vent. Could turn it into a 1v1. Oh, just win it outright. Navi's so afraid of the upper bomb site.
They play themselves. They have the site, they just don't know where Zontix is, so they take a moment to pause, to walk away, and they allow him the only way to get back into that round.
They realized they didn't have any ability to cover Alexi towards Hut, and Zontix takes complete advantage of it. Oh, a gift in overtime, and Blade might just pull a sponge after that one and walk out.
Yeah. Oh no.
He's looking
like,
for the exit.
Can I please go behind this? Can I please walk away? Oh, Shiro to drop Ima. Those are the kind of rounds that can just break you completely, shatter the mentality, and remove any chances of Navi from being able to close this series out and qualify immediately. Spirit is their nemesis. The team they just can't beat. They beat them once in a year.
Heartbreak is the correct word. This is crazy the way Navi's losing some of these rounds.
This is more traumatizing than heartbreak. This is going to be disastrous if Navi let this go for their minds. Of course, not elimination, just to be clear. Team Liquid awaits in that lower bracket for the loser of this game.
Not elimination, but complete frustration.
Yes.
Wonderful's down in secret. It's up to Alexi B to figure out how him, JL, and Bit are going to combine and work together to make that an effective position. Molotov towards top hut. You can drop down Vent.
JL walking out into the site. Donk. Oh, he's got that one. Follows up on it. Bomb makes it down. But that's information picked up, at least for Team Spirit, that they see the bomb go down. Zontix spins back. What a shot from Wonderful. Bit trying to cut off the rotations down. Supporting his team, gets an extra kill. 5-7 goes in from Shiro, and Wonderful's nailed that.
They know numbers. They know numbers. Bit saw 2 outside of Vent, so now the retake is on, but Wonderful has no time to move his position.
And he's so low on health. A little bit of utility left. That's all that he's got. Alexi B playing up in the rafters. Donk and Chopper looking to combine together.
He doesn't want to use it?
Not yet. He's not going to get the chance to.
Yeah, there ain't no more time.
Alexi B watching control room. Oh, Chopper gets blasted by Alexi B. Donk to go down to Wonderful. And Navi are up to map and series points.
Man, you know, there really is a factor of Navi just sticking in this game. They just have no quit in them today. That victory that's been so elusive over Team Spirit, they're not going to give it up for any reason. Another hard-fought round win where you're at a disadvantage, and it feels so unlikely. A 2 versus 4. Recovered in overtime. And Navi with a chance to close out this series. Playoffs on the line. In their hands.
Oh, Zontix nervously waiting for any presence towards ramp. And he's going to get a lot of it. Great flashbang. That Zontix completely blinded. Can Shiro plug the gap? Lands that first shot. Pressure put on him with that molly right in front of him. He's watching for the drop down into the site. Can he stop the bomb? He was close, but no cigar for Shiro.
No one's down yet from Spirit. Just now, Chopper's arriving in secret. They have control of Vents, Navi. JL sitting here waiting for the drop. I think Chopper's going to have to clear him out, but now JL's attention is turned, but he still manages.
Blow for blow. 2 titans of Counter-Strike. Bringing it this close, down to the wire. Either double overtime or Navi qualify into the Spodek. Magic, Shiro, and Chopper coming back into lower. Alexi B awaits them. But he's forced out of his position. JL, who said he wanted this win so much, takes one step in that direction. And Navi qualify into the Spodek. They beat Team Spirit for the first time in a long time. That record now stands at 6-2, and it is not the heartbreaking loss. It is the Spodek qualification where Alexi B played in the finals in 2019. He'll have an opportunity this time, and with a team, the